That's what I'm talking about. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Goglings and Gogorifics and Gog peoples of the world unite. That's what I should have up there. Welcome to episode 428 of Pen and Pixels, and welcome to the premiere of By the Dice Roll. That's right. It is By the Dice Roll, our new actual play group that is joining us to play or to continue our playthrough of Ghosts of Saltmarsh. We are not premiering Saltmarsh. That we have already done. There's plenty of Saltmarsh out there to be had. But for the first time, we are getting the chance to actually play with this crew that under this name, under the By the Dice Roll name, which is super exciting. So I'm glad to welcome all of you to this. And welcome to the show that we do here every Tuesday from 4 to 7 p.m. Eastern, focusing on story and narrative in games. Just a couple of quick reminders about ways to support us in the channel. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to follow us here on GogCom's Twitch channel. That is always appreciated. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to us here on GogCom's Twitch channel. And if you haven't done so already, please consider clicking through and checking out our own individual channels and subsystems and all that kind of good stuff, because that is always appreciated as well. Otherwise, I do want to mention to everyone that we will be doing some more Black Geyser Couriers of Darkness next week on this channel here on Pen and Pixels. I will also mention, yeah, I understand, I know, right, Prince Justin? I also want to mention that I will be back on my own channel this evening at 9 p.m. Eastern. I think Kilgore is going to be an hour or so later than that on this channel, but I'm going to be on my channel at 9 p.m. with more of the Banner Saga 3 with the amazing voice team of the Our Vocalists voicing the Banner Saga 3, so you'll definitely want to stop by for that. But that is all going to be coming later, because what we've got going on now is the extremely exciting and awesome and amazing By the Dice Roll team. So I am unmuting them so we know that we are all ready to go, or rather unmuting myself, I should say. And now I'm going to unmute them. And last but certainly not least, I'm going to head over to reveal the crew of By the Dice Roll. And notice, please, our new overlay. Yes, goodbye, Labrio. Feel free to head out. So welcome to the amazing By the Dice Roll crew. This may sound familiar to you. It may seem very much like, wait, have I not seen these people in other contexts before? And the answer to that is yes. This was D&D with GOG, and we're still here on GOG, but we have a new name, and you can see our new overlay designed by our very own Mike Smith, who you can see there in the center of the screen down below. I am up here at the top left. I feel very, very far away, so distant from them, but that won't be for long, chat, because soon I will be seeing these people in person. I will see all of these people in person and more on our inaugural in-person event on August 17th in merry old England, specifically in the Clapham Omnibus Theater, where we will have the Night at the Forbidden Library adventure that we are running these folks through. I know that there are a number of you who have already managed to head over, gotten tickets, and are going to be meeting all of us on Saturday, and that is super cool. I am so excited for this. I think I can speak for all of us that we're all pretty freaking excited about this. It's going to be amazing. And so if you haven't done so already, please go to our website, buythediceroll.com, and when you go over there, there is a link to get tickets. I believe it is £7.50, if I'm not mistaken, so that is pretty cheap, relatively speaking cheap, and right around, I guess that's around the cost of a movie-ish. Sort of.
Oh, it's cheaper than a movie.
Oh, it's cheaper than
a movie, yeah.
It's cheaper than a movie and far better. I mean, so clearly, it's going to be really good times. And so, yes, please do come and join us for that. Get those tickets as soon as you can at the Clapham Omnibus Theater. Also, one last thing I want to mention is you'll notice that there are 5 spots here, and yet there are only 4 people on screen. I wonder why. You'll have to find out for yourself in a little while. But for right now, I'm going to introduce the members that you do see on screen, and that begins with bottom left with the amazing Pyron Jade. You will notice that I have done incredible work in squeezing the full name for Pyron Jade's character into the little I was like double center squeeze reduce font, all that. But we did manage to get it in there. But Pyron Jade, it's good to see you. How are you doing? How are you feeling? How's all your blood doing? That's an inside joke. How are you doing? And who are you playing in tonight?
I would like to say sometimes it's not about quantity but quality, but that's not always true. So yes. Yeah, me and my blood, we're holding on here.
Good.
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I would say I'm going to a convention this weekend with my family. Looking very much forward to it. It's one of the biggest fantasy conventions in Germany. It's the NordCon in Hamburg, if anybody knows it. So it's going to be our biggest role-playing convention. Could be more correct. I don't know, but it's awesome. And we've been going there for, I don't know how long. Oh, God. No, I don't want to even think about it. But still, now we're going with kids. Yeah. So it's going to be wonderful. And I'm going to play Waves Crashing Against Rocks, or...
There it is.
As they're also known. Because they're a Kenku. And Kenku can repeat any noise they hear. They can even make it appear so that people don't realize that they're not hearing the real noise, but somebody repeating the noise. So they can be better than a parrot. And so yeah, that's why their name is a noise. But a lot of people call them just waves, so that's also fine. I mean, maybe better than crash. I don't know, or rocks.
Well, I was wondering if there is can you do a sound nickname? Like, is it like a shh? And that's the short version of waves, whoosh, whoosh, is the full thing, Yeah,
maybe there is something like that for friends, and it's only like a mom calling them like.
Right. Yeah, like when Waves heard that was their mom was like, yeah, you come over here, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Yeah.
Something like that. So yeah, and currently on a ghost ship. So Waves is also a sailor and a paladin, so that's also a thing. So it's all gonna be fine.
It'll be just fine. It'll be totally cool. I am very excited to have Pyron Jade with us. I'm also excited to have Darksaber 2K with us. Darksaber 2K is toughing it out. Is the hardcore will stay with us regardless of whatever Darksaber faces. Thank you as always for Moobot and Dashboard as well, Saber. How are you doing? I note the new shirt, by the way, so you should definitely show that off, which says, for those of you who can't see, I keep the loot. And it's specifically a bag of holding that is on the shirt. So that's good to know for everybody that that's how that works. But good to see you, Saber. How you doing? And how's life with you? And who are you playing today?
Well, like you hit, I've fended off a migraine so far. I'm saying to everyone, I'm running on caffeine, painkillers, and excitement about the session. So I should be able to keep it together for at least a couple of hours. But if I start going a bit insensible towards the end of the session, that's why. But yeah, very, very excited to get By the dice roll. Here we are. We've been talking about it for a while.
Yep.
Now it's all
official.
lots of wheels in motion all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. August is going to be very special, I think. Well, I don't think I know.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
But until then, you'll still see us here, and I'm going to be, as always, more Gorgonian, Dwarven artillerist, and currently thinking we may have to stick Brian in the bag of holding.
Yeah, we're gonna have to deal with what's going on with Brian, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Always a pleasure to have Darksaber with us. Also a pleasure to have Wholesome Horror Gaming, also known as Mike Smith, Peripheral Mike, with us too. Good to see you, Mike. Is that a beholder shirt that you're wearing, Mike?
Yes.
If I'm clear? Okay.
Stained glass beholder.
Stained glass beholder. Oh, nice. Very nice. That's the kind of thing that sort of makes you contemplate. It's a very spiritual shirt, really, in a lot of ways, I think. So
Yes,
that element is there. How are you doing, Mike? How's life in the universe with you, and who are you playing today?
I'm really good. Yeah, really good. I'm in a really good place. I'm genuinely so excited about this session. I'm going to be so hungover from excitement tomorrow, and all of the people who are 30 plus will know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you don't have to drink anymore to get a hangover from like staying up late and doing something fun. You're just like, oh no, I stayed up 2 hours longer than I should have. Oh, I got too invested in doing the thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's me. I've already written Wednesday off. It's fine. But yeah, I'm so dead excited. I'm less excited about being trapped as Silvo Janus Bertulus, our sorcerer with an aberrant mind past, in the bottom of a now presumably sinking ship or being attacked ship, with an unconscious fighter, a strong box, and a Kenku and a dwarf. And he's like, draw straws to carry the fighter, I guess.
Yes.
So we'll see what happens.
Exactly. I'm actually very interested to hear how all that's going to happen. Strongbox, also body of unconscious companion. How's this all going to work? We're going to find out together. Always a pleasure to have Mike with us. And last but certainly not least, at least last, but for how long? But certainly not least, is, of course, the awesome and amazing Ananda. It's good to see you, Ananda. I hope all is well with you. How are you? How is the puppy? And who are you playing tonight?
The puppy is awesome as always. She is snoozing next to me. I'm apart from being exhausted, I'm ticking along, thank you, rolling with the punches. Really looking forward to today's session. I'm going to be having matchsticks propping my eyelids open possibly by the end of the session. Also hugely excited for our live meetup D&D session at the Clapham Omnibus. As I've rightly said, the tickets are £7.50. There is a small booking fee on top of that, but Wholesome Horror Gaming, Mike has put the link in chat if anybody fancies coming to a live session.
Say hi to us. And I'll have, by the way, and I will have something for everyone who comes, everyone who's in attendance. I will have something for you. But only if you're in attendance directly. Not the players. I don't care about you. No, just kidding. No, the players are separate. I have something else for the players, but I will have some stuff for people who are coming to the actual convention. Yeah, exactly.
It's not set in stone yet. There's a small chance one of my mods who lives in the US is going to try and come over. So that would be exciting too. But yeah, today I am going to be playing an unconscious water genasi called Brian the Bloodthirsty. Last session took its toll and I almost departed this mortal coil, but I managed to I'm alive. I succeeded my saving throws with the assistance of an inspiration point very kindly donated by chat. But yeah, I'm not in a good way, and being the only one of our party that can breathe underwater, I mean, I won't drown, but I don't want to be trapped in a sinking ship either, with no means of waking up. So yeah, today should be interesting. 0 hit points and a dream.
Yes, exactly. And that's true. As long as you have the person who's best suited to be able to navigate the watery deep, that person being unconscious, what could go wrong? I mean, I think everything has worked perfectly along those lines. All right, chat, let's fire up some music. Let's talk about what happened in our last session. Let me see. Let me just put together I think I wanted to start with, I'll start with ocean music first. Right, let's throw that up there. Ocean Voyage, Storm Tossed Fantasy. Throw some David Bowie in there. Immediately demonetized? No. Okay. So what happened in our last session, chat, is the crew. Hold on. Why am I not getting any sound? hold on 1 second. Sorry. Okay, maybe. Are you folks hearing sound?
I have Roll20 muted, so I don't hear.
Oh.
Not anything right at this moment, no.
Huh.
I was hearing something. I'm hearing like ship noises and
Yes.
Yeah, I'm hearing ship
Yes.
noises.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
sound effects. Ambiance.
Okay, let me get rid of this.
Ambience.
Ambiance.
Ambience.
Interesting. One of them is not playing at
It's
all.
fancy ambience.
Okay,
Ambiance.
we'll do it with this one. Okay. All right, cool.
Appendage.
All right. So in our last session, the crew has made its way over wind and over wave. This actually part of the campaign has taken quite a while because there's going into a silver mine with a bunch of undead things and, you know, mutant fungi creatures and a lot of stuff, crabigator monsters and all this stuff, but they managed to get through all of that, and then they managed to I see you renamed it 0 hit points in a dream. It's good stuff. And then they managed to make their way out to this ghost ship. Now they were sent to this ghost ship because one of the people that they work with, Anders, had suggested to them that if they were able to find this artifact, which is of significance to his family and to the town of Saltmarsh, that it would allow them to gain credibility and support on the town council, which would enable them in turn, follow me if you can on this chat, to save the council from itself by convincing them that, oh no, really, there's going to be an invasion by the Sahuagin of Saltmarsh. It would be really nice if you people could wake up and get yourself armed and ready for that. So that's why the party has decided to do this. And they found some interesting things when they got to this ghost ship. Specifically, they found a ship which, according to the captain's log, which they discovered in what was left of the captain's quarters, had run aground on an island, followed by a group of some kind of cultists attacking the ship, and then very mysteriously the log coming to a close with something the equivalent of "They are coming, we cannot get out, drums in the deep," mixed with Castle Arg or something like that. So it did not finish completely. But the point was that there were these cultists, which seemed to fit from the party's point of view, because what the party has found a lot of on this ship is spiders. They've had to deal with that. And also undead creatures. At the bottom of the hold here of this ship, they discovered a very foul-smelling hold, but they also found a magically locked, apparently, strongbox, which may very well have the artifact that the party has been seeking. The only problem with that is, number one, the strongbox is currently locked and they weren't able to open it yet, and two, there were a group of what they later discovered to be ghasts that were guarding this thing, and ghasts are particularly nasty, chat, because ghasts can do things known as paralysis, where you are incapable of movement, and this happened to a couple of the party. By the time we get to the end of this fight, they did survive. Morthwill with 16 out of 34 hit points and 10 temporary is what I have you at. Brine with -1, which means 0 because stabilized. So 0 after having 3 death successes and 1 death failure. So it was kind of rough, but Brine survived. Silvo, hale and hearty with 24 out of 24 hit points and 10 temporary hit points, and Waves crashing against rocks with 1 out of 46 hit points and then 10 temporary hit points. So it's been a little it was a bit, they got bumped around a bit, and at the very end of that situation, as soon as they had touched the box, basically like reached to get to the box after defeating these ghasts, once that happened, this massive smashing sound happened. The ship, which was already kind of tilted to one side, tilted even further, and the party was able to see through a hole in the hull what Brine had previously seen, except worse, which is, as Saber has just put in chat, a bunch of tentacles. One enormous tentacle, to be specific, which has created this problem. And so basically now the party is in this situation where something clearly is trying to finish the job it started with this ship. And so I am going to fire up combat music, and we are going to be going into initiative shortly, not immediately, but shortly, because this is going to be timed. The ship is under active attack by an enormous tentacled thing, and I think chat would agree with me that that's probably bad. So we're going to fire up some music. There we go. You might recognize that from our intro video. Okay. And now I'm going to hand things over to the party. You have an unconscious Brian, an injured Morthwill, a horrifically injured Waves, a hale and hearty Silvo, a magical strong box that is locked, and a massive tentacle thing crushing the ship. What would the party like to do?
We
Run!
Yep. But we need to figure out a way to take Brian with us.
Yes. Can
Shall
Silvo...
we roll for initiative?
Not yet.
No, he said not yet. So
Not yet. Okay.
I'm gonna take a grab at this box, but it's gonna take more of me to move it.
Right.
Cast guidance on myself.
How strong would I need to be to lift Brian, like, over my shoulder, like, carrying?
I imagine that you would be strong enough to be able to carry Brian, but you are going to be somewhat hampered by it. It means your movement would be half normal as you're moving along. And obviously, if you're trying to, like, do anything like climbing a ladder or whatever, it's going to be, you can do it, but it would be slow, is what I would say.
Okay. You two grab Brian. You two grab the box. I'll get Brian. And Silvo starts splashing this way.
Okay.
I look from the skinny Silvo to the sort of skinny looking Waves and just shrug.
Do I have all my equipment, or is anything still dropped in the water?
I think you have picked up all your equipment now. Most of the stuff was right at your feet, so yeah.
Okay, then I'll help lugging the strong box with with Mothwell.
Okay.
I seriously just forgot the name, which is not a good sign. Sorry.
Okay.
Stars were mean to go on.
You took a lot of blows to the head in that last fight.
Yeah, I did.
Lots of paralysis went around.
Okay, so right. So Morthwill and Wave, since you're trying to pick up that box, the total of your strengths together. What is the total of your two strengths?
I've got 13.
Okay.
I have 10.
Okay. 23. So you'll be happy to know that with 23 or higher, you have only a negative 10-foot speed penalty. So if you normally could move at 30, you'd be moving at 20. Now, climbing things is going to be impossible unless one of you is actually secretly an octopus. But otherwise, you're going to have a hard time unless you figure out ways to kind of push one up to another or whatever. But you can at least move at a pretty close to normal speed.
Okay.
How creative can I be with arms of Hadar? Like, could I just sort of like pick it up with the tentacles?
And I should mention, by the way, if you're carrying the box during combat when we go in there, the way it works is that the character who has the higher initiative when we roll it does not move on their turn. They use an action to assist the other character. And then when the other character, the other person carrying the box goes, then both characters can move the box a distance equal to that, negative 10, so 20 feet total. If you want to double move on that person's turn, you could. That'd be like 40 feet.
I got a slight wrinkle on that. My speed's 25.
Okay, what's your speed?
Okay.
Your speed is...
Mine?
Yeah.
30.
Actually, you know what? It doesn't matter because it says it's for the lower characters, like the lower movement characters. So it means 15. So if you double move every turn, then you could move up to 30 is what you'd be doing.
Okay. We cannot stuff it into the bag of holding. That was the problem, right?
5-foot opening. And it's a 10-foot by 10-foot box, wasn't it? Or
Yeah.
just slightly under?
And a metal one at
That's
that.
a pretty
so.
big box.
Aye.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty hefty box.
What is in there?
It's a
Okay,
massive
let's
box.
let's get going.
All right. So you pick it up, Silvo. As you get to the ladder, and the ship is like rocking back and forth. So you're like kind of like, as you're moving.
Bad idea.
Yeah, you get to the ladder with Brian slumped over your shoulder, and you look up and you see that the trap door, or whatever, the top of the ladder, it seems to be blocked by something. But it's weird because the thing it's blocked by looks to be like a curved, like it's slightly curved. So like there's like a trap door there now where there wasn't before, but it's like slightly curved in. Looks
There's
odd.
like a trapdoor with like a weight on it, so the wood is bowed inwards.
Maybe, although it doesn't look like wood.
Right, okay. Can I leave Brian where she is and climb the ladder and try and push the blockage?
Yes. When this is pushed, the character who is about to introduce themselves feels themselves being pushed. Who's that? You feel something pushing you from below. Character that I haven't yet named.
Don't eat me.
Whoa! What? Who are you?
Don't eat me.
Don't eat you? What? I'm not going to eat you. Just get out of the way. What are you doing here?
Promise not to eat me.
Yeah, I promise. I promise not to eat you.
Do you pinky promise?
I'll pinky promise. I'll do what you need me to do to get you out of the way. I promise not to eat you.
Everyone breaks their promises. All right.
Well, we can probably talk about promises when we're not in a sinking ship. But right now, wait, are you with this crew? How do you get? What? Never mind. Let's talk about that afterwards.
The blockage slowly, lifts itself up and away.
So I see the sort of shadow move out of the way.
That is correct.
Okay, excellent. I will grab the ladder, try and slide down as quick as I can to get Brian. As I'm lifting Brian up, I'm like, no, I don't know what is going on. I'm going to look back over to those two and I'm going to go, so there's someone upstairs. Don't know who it is, but I'm pretty sure they don't want to kill us. And he just starts climbing really slowly.
The voice
Brian,
comes down again to just remind everyone, don't eat me.
What did you say to them?
I ain't say nothing, mate. I ain't say absolutely nothing. But on this ship, I would expect anything to try and eat you. Now, if you don't mind, you got a box to carry and I got a parrot to lift.
And we're all very keen on not getting eaten.
I'm very keen on not getting eaten. Let's get a move on. Let's get a wiggle on.
So when you have climbed up to this deck here, which I will... Oh, wait a minute. You didn't do that. You went all the way to... No, maybe you did. Hold on. Sorry. Let me make sure. Oh, yeah, you have been in here. That's right. So right here is where you brought to, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to guess I'm about here, and
Yep.
Brian is probably next to me.
I would say that's fair. So, Brian, you can move yourself over to that spot. And then standing here, now this is just a temporary thing. Do you want to describe what you look like?
Yeah, they see the cleanest turtle they have ever seen in their lives. No barnacles, no bits of seaweed or algae or whatever. Very pristine, bald, 6 foot, not ninja turtle. He looks haunted. His eyes, when they gaze upon you, look sort of ageless and wise, but also so young and looking to you for wisdom. Like, you're not sure if you should be comforting this person or seeking comfort from them. And he's green.
That also is ding the
Not
name. Name call.
That's not easy.
I've heard it's not easy being green.
As these people come up through this hatch,
Yeah.
I'm assuming they're not very clean.
I would say you may not have seen anything this filthy in a long time, Green.
Okay, Green takes a step back and says, "Don't eat me or touch me." And then he looks at Brian and is like, "Is that one dead?"
Silver places Brian on the deck, and in one motion stands up and sort of puts his hand out in almost like a non-threatening manner. But Green, you definitely see there's a dagger in his other hand that he's trying to conceal with his leg, and he's like,
"Don't eat me."
"Not gonna eat no one, but I don't know where you came from, and everything on the ship has tried turn us inside out. Who are you? Where'd you come from? Yes, that one's not doing well.
Everything on this ship has tried to turn me inside out as well. I'm not sure what happened. He looks around and there's like a busted bit of wall. He goes, I was there. Now I'm here.
All right. So
Are they dead?
Very slowly puts his dagger away. He's like, yeah, well, they're not doing great. They're close. You wouldn't happen to have any of those shiny red potions, would you?
Oh, potions, no. He looks over, he leans over and he goes, And then, his touch. He's going to lean over and cast prestidigitation to clean a 1 foot cube area of brine.
Okay.
And then, tip of the finger, like, cast Cure Wounds as a second level spell, please.
Outstanding.
Thank you.
Outstanding.
I hope this one doesn't eat me. All that's happened is everyone tries to eat me.
Yeah, well, I've never. We haven't eaten anyone. All right, she's a good one. All right, she looks after me. I'm not. I don't care for seafood, so you'll be all right with us. Thank you for that. What do you say we get off this ship together, hey?
Are you my friend now?
Well, let's take things one step at a time. But you help my mate. I want to help you back. So that's how this works.
You were sent by the Quiet One. Yes, I will go with you.
Cool. Well, I can't wait to hear about the Quiet One. I'm more concerned about the noisy
Smash!
one.
The ship sort of tilts back and forth. By the way, at this point, Morthwheel and Waves are coming up the ladder, sort of like. Are you like pushing and pulling the box? Like, okay.
Yes.
So you hear a lot of grunting, maybe I would say, coming from that. Also, I believe that
Definitely
was 15.
swearing.
Was that 15 points, Green, that just came back to Brian?
Yeah.
I believe. And by the way, everybody, welcome Undeveloped Bruce as Green, our new turtle. I will leave it up to Bruce whether wanting to reveal the actual like class, but you might be able to figure it out, sooner rather than later. But it is our very own cleaning turtle, known as Green. So yes, welcome to Green. All right. There we go. I have to say, one of my favorite reveals has to be a turtle shell blocking a trapdoor. Oh my goodness.
That is really good.
So, and that turtle image you see, Chad, is only temporary. We're going to get our wonderful character artist, Hannah, to do Green's character, and then that will be replaced. But for the moment, Bruce, I've given you control of the turtle, the generic turtle, let's say. Yes, Dragonspawn, Bruce is a lean green cleaning machine. That is exactly correct. Okay.
Nailed it.
So you were able to pull. So Morthwheel and Waves. As you come up the ladder, you can see Silvo looking sort of, I don't know, oddly, awkwardly at this humanoid, medium-sized turtle. And you can also see Brian, who is looking around, still hurt, but at least not unconscious. And and the turtle is looking back at all of you.
Okay, Morthal's just gonna kind of casually stand in front of the box and just be like, we need this. Is that a problem?
No, you're my friends. You were sent by the Quiet One. Do you need help?
Manistrad Copperlocks? She wasn't very quiet though.
I'm just kind of trying to get my bearings and looking around, and I suddenly spot Green and like look down, and there's a clean patch on me, and I'm like trying to scrub the clean patch cleaner, but I'm making it filthy again. And I'm like,
Brilliant.
Green just like just keeps re-cleaning it every time that you make it dirty.
How hard did I hit my head?
Yeah, you were pretty out there. Those things
you
really
look
gave
pretty
you a
gone.
walloping. Yeah, you were knocked for 6. So this is our new potential friend who touched you, and now you're alive. So I say we return the favor and make sure they don't get eaten by the. Oh, there's a giant squid outside that's trying
Smash!
to destroy
I
you.
need everyone to make
Oh.
dexterity saving throws for me, please.
Yes, enough talking. Dexterity.
Yeah, less chatty, more runny.
Not for me.
What was it? Sorry, dexterity saving.
Dexterity save, please.
Thank you.
Aha. Waves with the dexterous save that only terror can bring. Let's see.
I want to get out there now
Yeah, yeah.
with my before the shield toad shuts down and I lose my 10 hit points.
It's very true. Okay, so we have Brian with a 5, we have Morthwell with an 8, we have Silva with a 7, we have Green with a 1, and we have Waves is like I'm running on top of the water like Legolas coming out of Caradhras. The rest of you though, not so much. So
I'm gonna fall down
you
the
are
trapdoor again,
smashed
aren't I?
by no, you don't fall. You are, however, smashed by tentacles that come shooting through the hull of the ship. Each of you are going to take 3 points of bludgeoning damage. And
Me
as everybody except Waves. Waves does not. Let's see. So that includes Silvo. Let's see. Oh, wait. Sorry, Silvo. That doesn't come off of you. That comes off your temp. So
Okay.
7 temp. My bad. And Morthwell, same for you. So you'd be at 7 temp, I think.
Yep.
Okay. And then I need to add Green. What was Green's starting hit point total, Bruce?
31.
Okay. So 28 now out of 31 HP. Okay. Smashed by Tentacles sounds like a Chuck Tingle collaboration. Yes, that's true. Well, listen, Buckaroo. If the great Chuck Tingle has it, this is a speculative fiction / politics joke. Okay. So, all right. So that's the deal. And you can now see, in fact, as you're looking through it, Brian, you would know this. You're not 100% sure how the ship is still seaworthy. You wonder if the tentacles are actually partly holding the ship up now. Like if the tentacles are around it and are actually just, like an egg, basically pulling in on the sides of the great ship.
With my extensive knowledge of the sea and being a water genasi as well, do I recognize what kind of sea creature this tentacle comes from?
Let me give you, make a nature check for me. I'll give this to you at +3.
You tried to find out what it was, and Silver was just screaming at you, "Stop staring at the squid!"
Exactly.
It's not dangerous, this one.
Yeah. Brian is like, what am I? I don't know. No. It's obviously a massive, there's only a few things it could be. It could be from things an octopus. It could be a squid. It could be a kraken. It could be a leviathan. This thing is really big. So you don't know what it is, except that you have never seen anything quite exactly like it.
I'm just glad with my crit fail that I didn't actually get stuck on one of the suction pads on the
Yeah, it's
the
like
tentacle.
Yeah, exactly. You're pulled away. Okay, but clearly the ship is under enormous stress.
Green has no idea what's going on. He's been withdrawn into his shell the entire time until he fell out of the cell onto a trapdoor and someone knocked on his shell. So he is very visibly surprised and lost.
It is time to leave. Where is this crate?
I think we need to make our way up to the deck and get on our boat before this ship collapses.
I'm reading one of the signal flares we were given, just in my hand, not lit yet.
Waves, are you here? Is that where you are?
Wait.
Where I just put you?
Yeah, I should just have gotten up the stairs with the lockbox in tow.
That's what I figured. Okay.
So yeah, but I want to get out, so I will just kind of a little bit of stressed look at Green and say,
Hi there. It's really nice to meet someone new.
And then start dragging the lockbox towards the next set of stairs leading up.
Now I would like initiative from everybody, please.
Oh no!
Damn it.
Hold on, let me.
So close.
Okay,
I
now
was
you can
hoping
do
he
it.
would forget.
Yeah, I wasn't going to mention it.
There's no need for initiative.
It just happens. Don't worry about it.
13.
We just all make it.
What is
I really want to get out.
Yeah.
The ship is not ours.
The ship is not ours. It can have it back.
Oh my god. So for this one, what I will do is if you can just roll this plus your dexterity for the moment, Bruce, and then I'll just add you to the turn order manually.
That was plus my dexterity. My dexterity is 0.
Oh, right. And a 7. Okay. Actually, that's a little bit higher than Brian, but then Brian has been, unconscious for the last few moments. Okay, so there we go. So we've got those people. I love how Waves continues to be still way ahead of everyone because Waves is like, I am injured. This is all bad.
I am
My
done with this place.
My 1 hit point and we are leaving now.
One hit point in a dream.
Hit point in a dream. Yep. Ship in a chair. All right. Let's see. So, Green with that, and then we have Brian with that. Okay. Right. Wanted to make sure. Not that there's any reason, chat, that I would want to keep track of the rounds that are being used. I mean, there's no reason that would be an issue. I'm sure there's nothing time sensitive to this situation at all, but just in case, Okay. And then one more here for Green. Okay, great. All right. So first to act in this round is going to be Waves. Now, unfortunately, Waves, if you're still carrying the box with Morthwill, then all you can really do on your turn is assist Morthwill in carrying the box. Which
let's get out.
Okay.
I'm just. That's what I'm doing. Move forwards with Morthwill, everybody else, and the box. Come on, let's move.
Okay.
Move. Support.
So then
support.
Silvo is up next. Silvo, are you obeying as has been done?
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to move as far forward as I can. Can I get up the stairs?
Let's see. You're 30,
Okay.
right? I guess if you double moved, you
30.
could probably get up because these are. What did I say? These were 10-foot squares. They are.
I mean, it's
5-foot
thematic that
squares.
he would properly leg it. So I'm probably going to be about here, on the top. That's these stairs, isn't it?
Yes, that's correct.
Is that right?
Yep, that's correct. So
do I see anything when I run up?
Well, so this is in the.
This is the other. Oh yeah.
Captain's chambers. Because it's not the actual top of the ship, that's a little bit higher. But this is the captain's chambers. So when you get into there, where you have, I believe, already been to this place, this is where you encountered more of the spiders. I think you may have encountered an ettercap as well. This is where you found the log from the captain. So you see the same sort of thing, some squished bodies, and all that sort of business.
Cool. I'm just gonna stay here.
Okay.
I don't think I can assist people in running faster than they already do.
Probably true. Okay. So now, Morthwill, on your turn, you can go, if you're going to double move, then it would be 25 minus 15. So your double move would be 30 feet, and these are 5-foot squares. And then
You can just see my legs, Hanna-Barbera.
okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So that'll get you, as I read it here, that would get you to right here is where you would be, like right below the deck with Waves right behind you. Because basically it's you here and then and the box is between you. So Morthwill, you would be up here. Yeah.
Okay.
But can I, if I'm the faster one, wouldn't it make more sense that I'm like in the front and one step ahead?
Problem is you can't be ahead of him. You have to
pull
go
ahead.
only as fast as the slowest one.
Yep, we've got swap places.
But I gesture towards Brian and the person that I don't know the name of yet to like follow.
Well, it's funny you should mention that because Green is up next. Green, what would you like to do? You've been told to follow.
Yeah. Can Green, similarly to them, as the action, almost like prepare the action to move with Brine so that Green is at the back of the party and nobody's left behind?
Yes, in fact, if you want, Brine can go right before you. So, like, because Brine goes next anyway. So Brine can go right before you and you just go last if you want to switch your turn order that way.
Yeah.
Is that cool? Okay. All right. And Brine, I can get rid of these death successes and failures. That all resets. We don't need to remember those times. Okay. So in that case, Brine, then you are up next and you are capable of movement. Yeah, you heard what everyone else said.
I've got a movement of 30, but I can see obviously that Waves and Morthrill are on the stairs, so I can't pass them, can
You can pass them. I would say that going over the box is going to be difficult terrain, which would slow you down. So if you double moved, I would say instead of 60, you would go 50 because you have to pass over the box. But you could definitely do that because they can kind of let you slide by and then you just kind of, I don't know, clamber over the box while they struggle to hold it up with yet more weight on top of it. And then, but that could happen if you
Step
wish.
on my head as she passes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could
Raven
I,
running away.
because I'm quite beefy. Could I maybe take over from Morthwell and help Waves carry the box?
Sure. I would speed things up because you have a faster speed than Morthwell if you want to do that, sure. You just have to get to the
Morthwell's not
top
gonna
of the
object.
stairs and then take it over.
I'm gonna as I'm kind of rushing and like beckoning Green on, I'm just gonna like say to Morthwell, I'll help with that. You go and see if the boat's ready.
Hey,
So
okay.
Okay, Morthwell, why don't you go here? Because that's
Okay.
basically the same spot. Yeah, exactly. And then you, Brian, can go here, and then that would position everyone where they're theoretically supposed to be. All right, awesome. That leaves us with Green.
Yeah, he's got
Nice.
a movement of 30, so I've moved him 25 to the bottom of the stairs, and he is ready to move out of the way if someone falls down the stairs and potentially touches him as they reach the bottom.
Okay. Okay. So, you do that. At the beginning of the next round, the ship tilts alarmingly to port and actually kind of rocks over. So I am going to need here dexterity saving throws from everybody.
Don't touch me!
Oh, much better. Oh,
Okay. So everybody but... Oh, nope. Okay.
Dwarf's gonna. Dwarf
I was
and
about to
Turtle.
say, yeah, exactly. Well, actually, you're going to get lucky here, Morthwell, because you were still at the top of the stairs, and so you just bang into the railing. So you were actually only going to take a point of damage rather than going prone or anything like that. On the other hand, the other person who failed the dexterity saving throw, Green, not so much. Green, that means that you are going to fall prone, and you are going to slide here. On the ground as the ship has shifted. You don't take any damage, but you are currently prone, and you hear sort of the, oh no, I guess, or something like that as you fall over. And
It's more of a sort of wordless horror of the dirty floor touching
oh
him.
boy, is it dirty too. Yeah, it's... Woo! All right. Okay, but now we have an opportunity to move. Waves, you're up next. What would you like to do?
Wait for Brian to move so we can move together with the box.
Oh, right. That's right. Yeah, because Brian
Yeah.
would be... Well, who's the...
Yeah.
Who's the slow... Are you both the same speed?
Same speed.
Yeah, 30.
Okay. So then what I'm going to do is then, Waves, do you want to basically drop down? Well, no, you can keep the initiative. You're just doing the assist action, so that's fine. You don't actually move, as you say, until Brian goes. Okay, Silvo, you were up next. Morthwill's on deck. What do you want to do, Silvo?
Okay, I'm going to head this way. 5, 10, 15. I'm going to head out of the door.
Okay.
I'm going to hold on to the door whilst I exit.
Okay.
Just in case it rocks. Just in case the ship lists again.
Let's see here. Okay. Right. All right. Good to know. Okay. That is going to be you. Morthwill, what do you want to do?
Right, let's have a look. Layout. Hang on, shifted things. Brian's up. I'm going to blast off Shield Toad while she's near me before I do anything else, because otherwise I may forget. So, unfortunately, Green has shifted too far away to be in range of this, because it's only 10 feet. Okay, Shield Toad, go! Oh, 5.
All
Better than
right.
nothing.
Yep. That's 5 temp HPs for anyone who has lower than that currently for your temp HPs, except for Green and Silvo. Sorry.
Right.
All right. That said,
okay.
That's my bonus action. I am going to follow Silvo up to here. Probably do the same as him, actually, but holding on to the other side of the door. Yeah, so I was there.
So okay, you're both on the one side and both of you are holding the door closed.
Oh, is he holding the door closed? I thought he was holding on to the door.
No, I'm holding on to the door.
Oh, onto the door. I beg your pardon.
Yeah, I thought he was like,
just hanging on to the sort of handle so that the door is open for everyone.
Okay.
Essentially, he's trying not to fall off the ship, but he's trying to make it look like he's trying to sort of clear the path for the box carriers.
I see. Okay. All right, so Silva's doing that, which means Morthwill's also holding on in the same way.
I'm going to move up there and hold on to the stump if I can. You know, that.
The broken down mast there, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just so I'm clear of the door, just because I don't know what's going on behind me.
Yes, no, makes sense. Okay, that's going to lead us to Brine and then Green. So now, Brine, on your turn, you can move the strongbox along with waves. So it would be -10 to your total speed. So, because both of you have 30 speed, so it means you could move 20 speed, and if you double move, you could go 40 feet.
Okay. So we come out here, right?
That's right.
Okay. So I'm assuming that's 5. Can I move diagonally?
And actually, this is 5 right here.
That's next step is 5.
Next step is 5, and yes, you can move diagonally.
10, 15, 20. Whereabouts is the boat? Our rowboat? Is it on the port starboard side?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's not. Well, you don't know yet because you haven't gotten to the side. We shall see when you get over there.
Well, thank you.
When we landed, which side was it at then?
It was on the port side, I believe.
This side.
Oh, no, you're right. It was on the starboard side. That's right.
Okay.
The right side for people who don't know port and starboard.
Yes. Klingons on the starboard side.
So it was 5, 10, 15, 20. We can get to the side.
That would be the case if you're double moving, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That's where I believe the boat was when we landed. Can I peer over the edge?
It is not there now. When you are looking over this,
Waze would like to say,
"What a load of bullshit."
The ship is still not ours. The right off the starboard bow. Now, there's some good news, which is that you can see it, but it is a good distance away. The rowboat, which, and I believe you folks were just on it yourselves, rowing out to this, right? If I'm not mistaken. So it is floating. It seems to be floating, but bobbing about wildly in the waves as some massive tentacled thing thrashes back and forth. In fact, I think I may have a picture of this. Let me see. I'm sure you all want to see exactly what you're dealing with. I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, like, why would we want to
sure,
miss?
why not?
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, Let's see.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go.
Just visualize our doom.
There you are.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, that's actually a little happier than I anticipated it would look.
Everything's fine, right, chat?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. So that's the size of some of the tentacles, some of the smaller tentacles. And pretty. Yeah.
You're just missing the squadron of ghasts we murdered at the bottom there.
That's true. They're also missing that squadron, actually.
Yeah.
So it's good news for everybody. Okay, so there you go. That it's all fine. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay, there we go. Right. So anyway, you see it bobbing about, but you do still see it. It's probably a good. Let's see. It's probably about 100 feet from the ship, if you had to guess. Maybe no, 200 feet from the ship, probably.
That's the ship with the people who brought us here, right?
Right.
No, our
Yeah,
rowboat.
The rowboat.
No. Or the rowboat or the ship that we want to row to?
No, there was two, wasn't there? There was the little rowboat.
Yeah,
There was the big ship, and the little
And then
rowboat.
we got on a
that we-
rowboat and rowed
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Now, was it just us that got on the rowboat, or was it other people with us?
No. What is this?
I believe there were a group that rowed you
To the side of this.
right, but
vessel,
I'm
I
trying to
thought.
remember. Yeah, but I'm trying to remember though if you went directly from the silver mine on that boat out to here. Because there is one version of this where you do actually have a group of people that took you, but I don't think so. I think you found.
No, we didn't take
came
that
here with
boat
people.
here.
Okay,
They
that's
gave
Yeah,
us
we
fine.
came here
flares.
with others.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can. So there are in fact two people in that boat, and you could wave at them if you wish, because they're like
And we
bobbing
have-
up and down wildly.
We have flares, don't we?
Yes,
Yep.
we do. Yeah,
And
Mothwell
we-
has
and it was
at
like-
least one.
And we were told to flare, and then they would come pick us up and
Yeah.
bring us back to the big ship, wasn't it?
Yes, that was what I thought was happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it said one
that's
each
it.
because I just said that I had a flare because I think
Yeah.
it was just flares for the taking. Is
Okay.
cool.
I think we have more flares than one.
Okay, so are you firing off a flare? Which I would probably allow you to do on this round if you wish.
I don't have one.
I don't have one. It was Morthwell that had it.
Okay, Marth will have to do it on his turn then.
Okay.
So at the moment you're just staring out at this boat.
Also,
trying to
Marvel is the best
wave.
qualified to do that. So let's
exactly.
let's face it.
Where's our
He
flare?
makes
I
things
expert?
think
explode.
we'd be unqualified at this point.
Okay, so
Enthusiastic will do.
that is Brian's turn. Brian and Waves collectively turn, and that's going to lead us to Green. So Green, first of all, you're prone, so you need to stand up. Now, in this particular situation, even though usually for me, when you're prone, you basically use your movement standing up. But in this case, I'll allow you to basically, if you want to do a double move, the equivalent, prone, you stand up. That's one of your actions. And then you can double move, so you can then climb the stairs if you wish to get up to the deck where your newfound companions are.
Yeah, don't leave me and don't eat me. And he runs. How many movements is that?
5, 10, 15, 20. Or you have 25 or 30?
I have 30.
So that would put you... I would put you about here. Yeah. And I can take that prone thing off you. Also, I would like you to make a perception check for me, please, Green.
Yeah.
Okay. Green, as you are scurrying as fast as you can up the deck, you hear this smashing sound, not from the outside of the ship, but the pounding sound and hissing sound of something on the other side of this door, the door in the place that you're vacating. as if something is trying to get out.
I think there's something in the ship. He's not sure if anyone's hearing him, so he's just going to tell him about it soon.
We probably can't hear you.
Yeah. Crashing of the waves and everything.
Oh, man. Yeah, probably not. Okay. So, you get up onto that spot. Trying to reduce this so it gets out of the way. This picture. Okay. Right. So, that will conclude the players, which means when we head over here, go to the top. Okay. Now, there is another horrible crashing, smashing sound, and you can see now that there is, you can hear the sound of rushing water, and it's not from the ocean. You're pretty sure it's rushing into the bottom of the ship. Also, Green, you hear first this smashing sound, and suddenly, I don't know whether it's to your horror, you'd have to tell me, you see creatures, hold on a second, smash their way through the door down below. So, let me just bring some things out here. Okay. Okay. A group of giant spiders come charging, smashing through the door, and heading up the stairs. Green, practically bowling you over. They don't pay any attention to you. They seem to be just frantic to get off of the ship. Among them are two regular-looking spiders, and then one spider that, as you look at it, as you were like, as they run past you, seems to wink out of existence for a minute and then appear 5 feet further away. There is also, in addition to that, there is as well a half-orc in a cloak who has a very sort of evil, angry expression, who is charging up and is screaming wildly, and the only word that you make out is something about Lolth. Lolth, Lolth, Lolth.
Lolth is the god of spiders, right?
One of the signatures.
Yeah, okay.
Shrine prayer on the ship.
One of the chef's specialties, if you will.
Yeah. That's pretty common knowledge in the D&D pantheon,
I would
right?
say.
Yeah, okay, cool.
With that sort of echoing in your ears, and with Green trying to recover themselves as they're sort of bashing against the wall, Waves, you are up. And you hear yelling, but you don't actually see these creatures. The only one who sees the creatures so far is Green.
Okay, awesome. I just figured out that our little rowboat is gone, that the ship that is supposed to pick us up is like far away, and I heard a loud crash that sounds like the ship is starting to sink, yes?
That's pretty much the size of it.
Okay, let me see if I've got anything on my character sheet to help with this. I don't really think so. Well, I've got a moment. So, yeah. I don't even have anything to secure the damn lockbox or anything. Do I see like a big piece of wood that looks like that it would like to float away with us?
Oh, there's plenty of big pieces of wood.
Like raft size.
Sure. You can take your pick of any of the big pieces of wood. Well, you'd have to lash them together to make a raft, but they're all pretty. There's a lot of them.
I feel like crafting is not. It's time sensitive here. That's not gonna work. Okay, I'll just try to hold onto the railing and to hold onto the lockbox with the other hand and hope that somebody will come to our rescue, because I really don't have a plan right now.
As Dragonspawn points out, you are surrounded by big pieces of boat that are no longer a proper vessel.
That's very true. Big pieces of
It's the cycle
like
of boats,
jigsaw
everyone.
boat.
It's the cycle of life. One boat makes many little boats. That's how this works. So
Okay, I'll just stay here and like not do anything, and we'll wait if there's something I can do.
okay. That will then bring us to Silvo, who's up next with Morthwell on deck. Silvo, what do you want to do?
Okay.
You hear something, by the way, on the other side of the door. You don't know what it is, but you hear a big clicking, hissing, shouting about something sound on the other side of the door.
So it's been like a total of 5 seconds, right? Since this shouting started.
That would be the case. Yes, about 6 seconds roughly.
Yeah.
No,
You just think
you're
there's
right.
a turtle on the other side of this door.
Yeah, well, that's to be fair. He's going to look
Whoa.
over at Morthwell and the others, and he's going to be like, "Where's the other one?" And there's no answer, so he's going to open the door and immediately go, "Oh God!"
Yes.
and try and close it again.
You see, you see an angry half-orc face, eyes. There's a great scar across the right cheek. The eyes are the forehead is furrowed in anger, and he roars at you. And as you try to close the door, his foot darts out to try to stop it. However, you can oppose this. You can make a dexterity. You can make a dexterity check to see if you can close. I mean, if you want to close it, you can close it before he gets to it, depending on the check you make.
Part of me wanted to try and open the door and hide behind the door, like a child would.
That might be harder now.
A little bit. Yeah, I'll make a dex save, see if I can close the door.
And as Bruce points out, that is definitely not a turtle. Like, you're definitely not.
Yeah,
turtles.
I'm not seeing things. No, it's a 9.
Actually,
I failed.
no, you did not
Really?
fail. He rolled a 6. So
Nice.
you are able to maybe because he's as startled as you are to see you. So you so you open the door, slam the door right back in his face. So Green, there's a moment where you see this startled expression of Silvo, followed, or this, I guess you haven't met yet, but this seen this elvish figure followed by the door slamming shut again.
I got both hands on the door, and I'm like, "We've got another problem."
I don't want to know, do I?
It's an angry orc and something skittering behind it, and I think the turtle's in there.
Whoa!
Where is that boat?
You hear very anguished. Don't let them eat me.
I just had this image of, where are those droid cars?
Where is the damn boat?
Silvo, is that all you're doing? Is just holding it closed and shouting
That's
wildly?
all I'm doing. I'm just holding it shut.
Well, Morthwell, it's your turn. You hear what Silvo said.
These signal flares, are they handheld or some kind of like launch tube
Handheld.
type deal? Handheld. Oh, boy. Okay.
But no, they will launch though. They're like a bottle rocket
like-
in the U.S. So you hold it and then it, from your.
Yeah, I guess that's going to be my action, is setting that off ASAP.
Okay. So it goes up, and these big red sparks, and you can see someone says from the boat, "Hold on, we're trying. We'll get to you as soon as we are." As the tentacle flails about the boat.
And now the long wait for the lift to descend.
Yeah.
Morthwell, do you want to move anywhere?
I think now I'm going to maybe assist with the door. I don't know. He's holding it shut. That seems prudent.
Okay. So you add your weight to his. Okay. Brian, you have just heard what all this is. You no longer have to worry about the box for the moment, so your actions are your own. What would you like to do? Jump
What
off,
I don't
swim
want
away.
to do is leave the one new friend we've made that actually saved my life. Good question. where the tentacles are like engulfing the ship, are there any like other tentacles that are thrashing around in the water next to the ship that might impede us trying to get to the boat ourselves?
Yes, they're hard to see specifically because they are flailing about, but there are tentacles that are kind of like flailing around in the water. Yes, that's fair to say. They're not like stood up in a wall, but there are definitely, you can tell that there's more than just the ones around the ship.
I'm going to turn to Mortwell and Silvo and Waves and say, I don't think we've got the time to wait for the boat to get to us. I think we need to get to the boat. Wait, hang on a second. Where's Green?
They're in here. They're in the room. There's things in the room.
We've got company.
Wolf!
I saw a half orc and something with a lot of legs.
Silvo, you feel, and Martha, you feel the door sort of pushes forward a bit.
Can I help lower Waves and the lockbox onto a really large piece of wood that is... It's not going to be the same situation as the end of Titanic where everyone can get on the door. A really large piece.
There was room.
People were smaller back then. You probably here's the way I think we can do that. Because you are a water genasi, I would say you could probably okay, here's my suggestion. You could jump in and steer a piece of wood to the side of the boat if you wish and hold it steady. I think it's reasonable to do that, and Waves could lower the box. But the risk of this is, one, Waves has to handle it. I guess Morthwill or someone else could help, but also you are subject to theoretically attack by tentacle while you're down there. But you could do that. Other than that, the waves are thrashing about so much, not your waves, the actual waves, that you're not going to be able to there's no way to keep it steady without somebody steadying it.
If we drop the box, it's gone. It's non-floaty.
I mean, theoretically, I could go and get it, but it would be a long way down.
Don't we have a moment? Maybe the box can be opened. Can I just try to open the box?
On your turn.
Okay.
Well, seeing as it's my turn, can I try and open the box?
I was waiting for someone to mention that. Yes, you can make an effort.
We tried this.
You can make an effort to open the box. You might have tried it before, yes.
Maybe it's a really tiny hyalome or something. Just a big box.
I think we just got the wood off from around it before the tentacles attacked. We didn't really have time to look at it at all.
No, we got it outside. Yeah, it was in a wooden box, and we got it out of the wooden box.
Yes.
Yeah,
but we didn't really do any examination beyond that.
Yeah, we didn't. Nope.
This is a blue
and then everything
metal
just went to
iron
hell.
box. Yeah.
Yeah.
And everything just went to hell.
Yeah, I'd like to see if I can open the box.
Okay. So as you look at it, Brian, there is no lock. There is no latch. There is a lid on it, obviously, but there's no obvious way to open it that you can see. You can try to pull at it. You could maybe try to pry it open with something, but there's no obvious handle. And unlike most every other box you've ever seen, it doesn't have a lid. I mean, it has a lid, but it doesn't have a lock or a latch or anything like that.
I'd like to try and pry it open with my scimitar.
Okay. All right. You put your scimitar in there. Go ahead and make as you press down. Well, I'm not even going to ask you to make a die roll. It is. You are going to break your scimitar if you continue. As you push down, this thing yields not one iota. If you had to guess, Brian, you think this might be magically locked because it ought to at least shift a little bit. Remember also that unlike everything down in that cabin or down in the hold, it's pristine, completely clean. Green would love it if they were there. So yeah, it's
I feel
completely
like you
clean.
should have said this before because Green would have given it a big hug.
Yeah, perfect, pristine box. But your scimitar moves it not at all.
Okay, here's what I'd like to do then. I would like to go back. I would like to move to where Morthwill and Silvo is. Now the ship is listing port side, so the left side is significantly lower. Am I correct?
That's correct. Right. So the starboard side is kind of up, tilted up right now.
Okay. I'm going to be talking very fast to Morthwill and Silvo. So here's what I'd like to do. I would like for them to. Arv, let me know if I'm allowed to do this.
Okay, sure.
So I'd like to say to Silvo and Morthwill, if you open the door, we can let them out, and then I can try and wash them overboard. So I would like for Silvo and Morthwill to open the door, and then I'd like to use create or destroy water where I can create up to 10 gallons of water. And see if I can use that, obviously slippery boat already, to try and wash them off the side of the ship.
We're seriously using modern day water hose tactics right now.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Off the port
I
side,
love it.
right?
Yeah.
Off the port
Off the
side.
port side, yeah.
Okay. You can certainly try that as far as I'm concerned. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, the other option is to try and freeze the water that's already on the deck of the ship.
There is a lot of it.
Yeah, I'm going to do that instead. I'm going to try and freeze the water off on the deck of the ship, but only on the side where we're not standing.
Yes. Okay, you can definitely do that. Are you going to wait for? Are you going to hold that action until Silvo and Morthwill open the door, or one of them opens the door?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Because if Green gets through the door before the orc and the spiders do, I'm going to, not include Green in the...
Well, speaking of... Okay, that sounds good, right? So you're positioned to do that. Speaking of Green, there are several large spiders and a very angry half-orc pounding on the door, pushing and yelling the name of Lolth over and over again. And the spiders look like they are ready to skitter up next to him and add their weight to the mix. They have not paid attention to you yet.
So they're all standing between Green and the door.
Yes.
And we've had tentacles coming into this room, right?
It was, I think, the below is where the tentacles were. They haven't gotten up this high yet.
Okay, so there's no holes in the walls.
Not here.
Okay.
Lots of debris on the ground, but
yeah, I mean, Green's not really the type to start a fight, especially when he can't win. He's probably also going to assume that he's being left behind.
Oh.
He would like to... Oh, man. He would like to... cast Shield of Faith on himself.
Okay.
And then hold on very tight so that if the ship lists again, he won't fall down the stairs. But he's not going to move otherwise. No one's noticed him. He's just shielding himself.
Okay.
He's holding on to the stair rail. And he's just like... Hopefully they'll leave. Or there'll be like a hole in the wall. I would say as well, like... Yeah, that's fine. That's what he's going to do.
Okay.
Just hoping for the best.
All right. Well, as we get to the top of that round, indeed, these things move here. and throw their weight against these things. I need Morthwill and Silvo to make strength checks for me, please. Checks, not saving throws. Okay.
It's an
Team
11.
no strength.
Yeah. Team wet noodle right here.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
a fixer, not a fighter.
With his malnourished biceps, just holding the 2 toothpicks.
We
stuck
can
up
do
against
it.
the door.
The door flies open, and you are both thrown back, about 5 feet each, and either scrabbling or running out of the door are 2 enormous spiders, and also a very angry half-orc. And another spider sort of winks out and then winks back in over here. So when they arrive, Brian, this is where your held action would happen. So if you want to free... Now, just looking at the sort of structure of the ship, you've got a railing here. So if you were to wait until they got here... okay, let's put it this way. If you freeze the area around here, you can probably get, I would say, most of them, except that you'll also get Silvo because of where Silvo was thrown. Now, Silvo is currently just sort of like standing on his... I should have said both you and Morthwill and Silvo are prone for the moment, literally thrown on your back. So Silvo would be in that mix, but then these creatures would go presumably heading towards the water. Otherwise, you could try to aim higher, but they're not in that spot yet. In terms of where they actually are, that's right here is where they all are.
I can't freeze the water if there's a creature in it, so I would need to go ahead of them. So I'm thinking around here.
Okay.
If they're running in that direction, hopefully that will catch them.
Okay. Fair enough. How big is the ice, the freezing of ice?
I mean, it's not very big. It's 5 foot square.
Okay. So basically we're talking about here more or less.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they will have... These are big creatures. They might have some advantage against this, but this guy will not if he doesn't notice it. So... Okay.
I couldn't do much else in that situation, so yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay. Do you have is your what was I going to say? Do you have a spell DC for yours that if you're using it to cast on somebody?
That one's a cantrip.
It's a cantrip. Yeah, I know, but in general, what would your spell DC
I'm
be?
just looking
Yeah.
because I don't usually cast spells. Not that I can see.
Okay.
Are you on your character sheet at the minute?
Yeah,
If you go to the spells tab at the top,
that's where I am.
yeah, have a look right at the very top. It might say spell save DC.
It's not been filled in.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Okay, so then it would be probably let's see, you'd be using for something like that with Genasi, you'd probably be using your I would say your wisdom, because as a Genasi, that's sort of an innate power. So I would say what's your wisdom score?
It is 9.
Okay, so 9, so that means that they have... Okay, so this is interesting. All right, so these 2 and this guy are not affected by this, but something is, because you hear this skittering sound, and then you hear a thump as if the sound of a deflated ball hitting something hard. And the next second, you see something disappearing over the side. It appears that you have that at least one invisible creature has fallen over the side, and you hear then this terrible skittering screech, and then and then a lot of roaring and tentacle movement and nothing else. So, could have been worse. That's basically what I'm saying.
I was half
I'm quite
expecting
happy
to
with
just
that
blink back
result.
up.
Yeah.
Okay. But otherwise, these folks are here. Okay. So that was that. They are clearly, now you don't know, they just managed to break through the door. You don't know what they're going to do next. We'll have to figure that out on their turn. But they have just, charged out the door, basically. So with that, I will ask Waves what Waves would like to do. Silva's on deck.
Stare at the whole commotion that is going on the other side over there.
The rowboat's on the way. Robots are, we're working on it.
Yeah. So I'll just try to keep the lockbox safe, just clinging onto it and clinging onto the railing and just making sure that neither I nor the lockbox fall off.
Okay.
And still looking at the robo and then looking back at whatever is running out of the door and slithering over the deck there and just looking back whether the rowboat is coming, clinging to the lockbox, clinging to my 1 health point, and it's gonna be fine.
You can do it! Comes the sound. Okay. Silvo is up next with Morthwell on deck. And you're prone at the moment, Silvo, but just like seated, so.
Yeah, just knocked on my ass a little bit. So when the orc came through the door, was it in a sort of panicked, I have to get off the ship kind of a way, or like
yes,
I'm going to murder whoever those pesky kids are?
Well,
sort of a way?
No, you got the impression they want to get off the ship. They're also incredibly angry at whoever's in their way, though. So probably if they could murder you en route to getting the hell off the ship, that would be great. But
okay. If I were to move back, am I engaged in combat with anyone?
If you moved back 5 feet, like essentially just scooting back, more or less, then no.
Like
you wouldn't be.
in the sort of action sense, like he's been knocked on his backside and he sort of like scuffs his boots, so he's sort of like he kicks his feet away.
Right. Yeah, you can do that.
I don't. No, that's all I'm gonna do right now. I'm just gonna kick my feet away. They haven't actually attacked us yet.
That's true.
They might just be trying to get off the ship.
Okay, that's true. All right, that's going to lead us to Morthwell with Brian on deck.
Who's just immediately just going to belly roll away in that direction. Sausage roll it.
Okay.
And so again, only British people get that. I imagine. Anyway, shield toad. Because I'm in a pretty good spot to get 3 of them from here.
Okay.
Oh, well, 6 temp HPs up for grabs.
Okay.
What have I got? I think I have 7.
I think Brian's brought up to 6. Is that?
I was on 5 before from the last shield code, so every HP counts.
Yep.
Yeah, every little helps.
Let's see. Every HP is sacred. Yeah. All right.
Can I get back onto my feet with the remainder of my turn then?
Yes, I would allow. Yes.
And bonus action.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, then I'm back on my feet and standing there then.
Okay.
Not going for a weapon.
That's true. Actually, more or less trying to keep yourself from slipping because the ship is now listing. So okay, that's going to lead us to Brian with green on deck. Brian, what would you like to do?
If the spiders aren't really paying that much attention to me, can I get past the spider through the door without provoking an attack of opportunity?
You're not sure. It'd be running right past it. It's possible that it's just going to snap at you, kind of like by reflex. If anything else, you don't know. It's not super safe to do it. They might not be paying attention to you, but they might still attack you on the way by since they're right in front of the door as we speak.
Okay. Can I hold my action with a view to, as soon as Green gets near the door, to assisting them getting out of that room.
Sure. Yes, with Green. Yep, you can do that. Speaking of Green, Green, what would you like to do? This one, they're out of the place barely, but they are out of the spot.
Yeah, Green would also like to be legging it in the same direction, but not close enough at their butts to, touch any creatures.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. So you're now there, and you can see your companions through the open door, through the smashed door, actually, along with several giant spiders. And you also have this uncomfortable sensation, Green. You hear other sounds coming from the stairwell that leads below.
Okay. Is Green able to... I think I used 15, so half of my movement. Is he able to slip out the door and, keep moving with the spider and orc?
Let's see. So...
are they blocking the door, or...
I think you... Well, okay. No, if you're willing to go underneath the spider's legs, meaning that the body of it is like this.
Nah, thank you. No, thank you.
I'm just giving you the option. Just
He'll wait. Yeah. After you.
That's all
No.
right. Don't mind
He
me.
actually, no, he's not even talking to these guys. They're servants of Lolth, who is a sort of warring... She's almost like the mother of war, whereas, he worships Eldath, who is like the mother of peace.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, man, I'm not going to attack you because my mum is the mum of peace and she wouldn't want me to attack you, but you're definitely in the wrong, sort of thoughts.
I love it. Well, so as you hear this sound, suddenly, finally, it has happened to me. All right. Right. Let me just bring these forward.
16 were spiders smash out of the hold of the ship.
Yeah, exactly. Not exactly 15 of them.
God. Why is it spiders?
Swarms of spiders come swarming out of the stairs, Green. And also a giant, not as giant as the ones you just saw, but like a very big, the size of like a Labrador, that kind of spider. Standard stuff, really. And then
So I was getting the impression I was a bit annoyed we missed all these encounters.
Green
not
is
me.
not
It was like this is all that was left.
I want to say that Green is not standing in the way of the door. He's to one side, he's you ladies first, He's,
Yes, for other parties,
of
it would be
Lolth.
For other parties, it would be rats leaving the sinking ship. For our party, it's spiders
Spiders
leaving
leaving
the
the
sinking
sinking
Spiders.
ship.
While under attack by tentacles.
Yeah.
The patch of ice, by the way, lasts for an hour, so it will still be there if any of these spiders
That's a good point.
go across that square.
Let me do that.
It's that nature documentary with the lemmings.
It would be
Someone-
great if that happened, just continuously getting sliding off the ship.
Okay. So we're talking basically in this square here, yes?
I think it was this one
Well,
because it
damn
was.
it. Now I have to okay, let's see if I can.
Well, now it's that square.
That.
Now it's both of them, and now I'm in the
Come
ice
back.
too.
Word of God says no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that, and let's put you here. Like that?
Hey guys, I don't know where I'm
Yeah.
going.
Does that sound right? Also this. Never mind that. You didn't see anything. Okay. Right.
That's an ominous number. We gotta leave.
Also, a number
guys.
5 ran out. Okay.
We gotta leave.
Okay, so you can see these things come swarming out, and if you're not standing in front of the door, then I would say these things probably come out. It's going to get a bit crowded. I can't wait for Roll20 to be like, let's see. These are going to crawl underneath the big ones. Like this. Okay. So the only issue is that you let all of these things through, and then we get this Ettercap, which you fought several times already. The Ettercap comes up, cannot get, like, you're sort of stepping aside to let them through, and the Ettercap turns on you in a panic. Now, it hasn't attacked yet, Green, but it's like staring you down, eyes frantic, just, because it can't escape through where the, actually, now that I think of it, the big spiders would move, so hold on, that may not happen. Okay, so this one's going to go this way. We're going to see if he slips on that ice.
I have this impression that the other one's going to stand right over me.
Yeah, he's not. He's going to come here, and he's actually going to jump over the ship of his own accord, actually.
No.
The edge of the ship.
This is bad. This is really, really bad.
Okay. He's going to do the same thing. All right, and then he's going to move here. He's going to try to move here. Let's see if he makes that save. Oh, no, he doesn't. Whoop! Okay. He goes flying off the side of the ship.
Brian coming in clutch with 1 5-foot square of ice.
Yep, it's good stuff. Okay, so having said that, the reason I wanted to check that out is because they are out of the way. So the Ettercap is not going to freak out. It's going to come here. The only one that's going to freak out, because it can't get anywhere, is going to be the giant wolf spider. But it just arrived there, so it hasn't had a chance to attack you yet, Green. But it's in order, as they say. Like it's on the docket for this, but not yet. So as we move here into round 5 of the combat, waves begins to, not waves crushing against rocks, but waves begins to fall, like break over the port side of the ship, so that the port side is getting covered in water. Just so you know, that's going to lead us to Waves is up next.
Is there any? Am I seeing the robot coming closer, or any kind of rescue, or is this not happening?
We're making great progress. Have faith. We can do it together. 1 and 2. Meanwhile, the tentacles are like, you see tentacles go up, smash down, misses the boat. The boat rocks wildly, but it's still heading towards you.
It is. It is indeed.
It is actually heading towards you.
Well, then I'll just keep doing what I was doing the last few rounds.
Which is stare. Every time you stare back, Waves, more stuff is shown up on the side of the room.
Yeah, I was thinking
tons of spiders.
I don't see anything I can do to improve the situation except for not having the lockbox fall off the ship.
Okay. Okay. So, let's see. That will lead us then, in that case, to Silvo, who is going to be up next with Morthwill on deck. There's a bunch of swarms of spiders around you, Silvo.
There is. It's not fantastic. Right, I've got an idea for what I want to do. Basically, Silvo wants to crawl hands and knees into this square, and then this square, and try and reach Green, to try and get Green out of that bloody room.
To be noted, that means you're crawling through swarms of spiders?
Yeah, he doesn't really have a problem with that.
Okay. They may have a problem with you. I'm just letting you know that may happen.
As he's doing this, would that... Yeah. Okay. No. That's fine. Sorry, I'm having an
listen,
inner
I'm
monologue.
all good about that. Listen, I want to encourage,
Yeah. So Morthwell's sort of gone off to one side. Brian
Okay.
is over here, where he's near the side of the ship. He knows that the turtle is still in the room, and now waves upon waves of like a tidal wave of insects started
Pretty
coming
much.
out. So he's trying to choose the path of least quote resistance. The Ettercap is probably looking off towards the ocean or something, blissfully unaware. If he can sort of sneak his way through to this point and then try and get to Green to try and be like, get out of the room.
Okay.
Like, drag them out of the room with him.
So here's what I'll do. I'll allow you to do this. I do want chat to make sure that you have very clearly in your minds the visual of Silvo crawling through poisonous spiders as he's making his way. Just want to point that out. I will allow you to do this.
Well, firstly, you didn't say they were poisonous spiders. You just said spiders.
They could just be regular, plenty normal spiders.
Yeah.
But you will need to. They are going to get one of them at least is going to get an attack of opportunity against you because you are literally crawling through it.
Yep.
It's a swarm, which means you actually can crawl through the space, but you're going to face a hit, so to speak.
Okay.
Assuming you're good with that, then.
I mean, I'm good enough.
I mean, I'm happy to do this.
Yeah,
it's a great plan. I'm happy to be a
about
part of it. Okay.
I'm not thrilled about it, but I'll do it.
Okay, let's see. Right. So, okay, as you were entering there, that is going to be a 20, not natural.
Yes, that hits.
Okay. So you are going to take 10 points of piercing damage as these things bite all over your flesh.
Okay.
So that means your temper gone.
Yep. And I'm down to 21 out of 24.
21 out of 24. I would like a Constitution saving throw from you, please.
Okay.
It's
a 9.
It's a 9. Yeah. So here's the thing.
I'm now poisoned.
Well, so they're not actually poisonous though in the traditional way. What it means is that you're actually slowed. So you feel yourself like you're like, I can, but you do get to the door, and you can now your face feels sluggish. I don't know if you've ever had dental work done, but it sort of feels like you got the Novocaine still wearing off. So you're like, green, type of thing, like that sort of thing. But you can still yell incoherently, but yes.
Yeah. Just like, come on, gotta go. Come on, gotta go.
You hear that, Green?
Came back for me.
Hurry up! Come on.
Silvo sounds very strange, Green.
No one's ever come back for him.
Okay, so you did that. You stayed there. Okay, Morthwill, you were up.
I just noticed if I shift one space to the right, I can connect 4.
Don't do that, we'll disappear.
We kind of want to, don't we?
No, it actually works because you know what happens after you do that with Connect 4? You know that little thing on the bottom that you flip out?
Yeah.
And all the checkers? That's what the whole ship.
ASMR. I thought we'd just done that. Okay, he's getting away. He's not happy about all these insects. This is usually in the mines you'd call the fire mages and not go back till they were done.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's gonna just go over, just waves on the back.
Okay. Thank you for that. We have a raid from Natural 6. Welcome, 54 raiders from Natural 6. Welcome. Pleasure. You are watching By the Dice Roll, the amazing new international actual play group featuring Pyron Jade, Darksaber 2K, Wholesome Horror Gaming, Inanda, and Undeveloped Bruce, newly introduced to this particular group. Also myself as your DM. By the way, chat, remember we're going to get 2 sessions of Saltmarsh now because we're doing 2 of these a month, so that's pretty cool. And again, welcome. And if you are in Europe and you're like, don't have anything to do on August 17th, can I recommend you get tickets to our first in-person actual play? If you want to see fun stuff like this, but in person, in the flesh, live human people, not just, AI bots or something on the web, you can do that. So, hi, Dragon Spear. Welcome in, everybody. So many tokens. Exactly, Ultragramps. A lot of people. Thank you so much for the raid, Natural 6. I appreciate it. Okay, so all right, you move over there. Whole human persons. Yes, can confirm. Well, I don't know. Actually, I can't confirm. I'll let you know in August if they're whole human people, but I think so. And also, the web is wide. Yes, it is. Welcome, lol guy and acid burn. Okay. So yes, these folks are trying to escape a sinking ship being attacked by a massive tentacled creature, while swarms of spiders try to escape, and their new turtle friend is stuck inside the room with the spiders. So that's basically how things are going here. Oh, and they have a lockbox that they're trying to get off of the ship without losing it. And there's that. So I thought I'd mention that too. Okay. So you go, you slap Waves on the shoulder, so to speak, Northwill. Is that it? You just wanted to say those things? I think you're...
Sorry, muted. Yeah.
Okay.
I was just going to shift down there just for shield toad
right, to make that
coverage.
control 4, yes.
Unfortunately, I still can't get green in the radius. No.
Right, a little bit too far.
Can't physically do it with all the things.
That's
fine.
fine.
I'm not stepping in stuff.
It's not fine for green, but it's fine. Okay.
Ooh, that's 10 temp HPs.
All right. I bet Silva would like that.
Yeah, not half.
Let's see. Morthwheel yourself, that goes back up to 10.
Mm-hmm.
And Brine is back up to 10, and Green does not have any of this yet. Okay. Right, lovely. Okay, that's going to bring us then to the aforementioned Brine. There's a lot of spiders around, Brine.
There is. Can I hold my action again? I think trying to get past these spiders to grab Green or assist Silvo is going to be counterproductive. Basically, what I'd like to do is when they get within grabbing distance, grab them and help move them towards the starboard side of the ship, alongside Morthwill and Waves.
So to pull Silvo out of there, basically, is the idea.
And Silvo and
Green. So we are connecting 4, basically, is what we're doing.
Basically.
Okay. So I will allow you to do that.
chain.
You are, however, going to subject yourself to attacks of opportunity from the swarm above you. No, actually, I take that back. Because Silvo already triggered their reaction this turn, they already attacked Silvo. So you won't get an attack from the swarm, but you will get an attack from that wolf spider that you see below you. Hello, kitty.
Mm-hmm. Kitty.
So, you're still cool with doing that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see what that giant wolf spider is going to be all about. Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. Move this. Pop out. Okay, good. Right. Okay. All right. So it is going to attempt to bite you. That is going to be a 14.
That does not hit.
Okay. It misses you. Snap. The jaws, the mandibles snap on open air. And you were able to. Now, Silvo, you could resist being pulled, but presumably you get what's going on here. So you could allow yourself to be pulled while you hold on to Green.
Yeah, pretty much.
Green, same for you. Like, you also could resist it, but you may get the idea that door is pretty much smashed. So there's nothing left of it, so you can see outside. So, assuming you allow yourself to be pulled, do you? That was for you, Green.
To be pulled through the door.
That's right. You can, pulled by Silvo, who is being pulled by Brine.
I know that people have really good intentions, but they're trying to pull Green from a room with one spider in it into a swarm of loads and loads of spiders.
These are all good points.
So I'm really sorry, but Green is not going to allow himself to be pulled into the spider swarm.
So I need an opposed strength check, please. So you will make one, and Silva will make one.
Please no.
It's for your own good, and then around you.
One of us.
I thought Green was going to refuse because Silvo had dirty hands.
Well, I mean, there's also that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good point.
That is not what I expected.
Okay, Silvo, you. So what? Silvo wins that. So what does that look like, Silvo, when you're like, when you do successfully pull forth?
I like to think that Silver, because he's on his knees, he's on his hands and knees, he looks up, and obviously he starts to feel Brian's hand on the back of his collar, pulling him backwards. He's just like, he grabs hold of Green and just like clutches part of the shell and like really digs in. He's like, come in with me.
Okay. As Green might have feared, this is going to provoke an attack from the wolf spider that's down there. Which might hit. That's a 19.
Is it meets it, beats it?
Yes.
All right, then, yeah, 19 hits.
Yeah. The power of that shell, though. But
I just want to point out to everyone that I absolutely could have just taken the disengage action and walked away.
No. I mean, listen, it's totally understandable exactly why that happened just now. Okay. So, Green, you are going to take 7 points of piercing damage. And then there's a little bit of some bad news. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please, as you feel poison. No turtle left behind.
My rolls. This is a cursed die. I want a new one.
Yeah, that's... okay, so you are going to take an additional 8 points of poison damage. Although you are not... The good news is you are not, however, you are not poisoned. If you had been reduced to 0 by this attack, like unconsciousness, that would have been very bad. But you were not. So, okay, so with that being the case... Brian, where do you want to move yourself to where you want to be? Because you can basically, like, you know, within reason, I guess 10, 15 feet. Like, you could move here. Like, it's up to you as to where you want to move. And then everyone else is going to be chained behind you.
Move up by waves.
Okay. So that means, Silvo, you're here. That means Green on his back. Why is being brought out here? Oh, my God. I just keep
crying.
seeing.
We're rescuing you.
Brian is just going to shout, "We're not going to let them eat you."
Oh man, this really is a Connect 4 game, by the way. I cannot unsee that now. Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm just quick quiet.
Yeah, no, I mean it's totally,
you guys so us.
Totally is.
Stop crying, you're safe.
Okay. So you managed to do that. Right. You've all made it to the starboard side. That was on Brian's turn. So Green, it's now your turn. Now technically, you are being pulled. I guess you're not prone though. You were just sort of trying to resist. So you're still standing. So you could do whatever you want at this point. I would say, Green, you could disengage from the swarm that's here. You could, I don't know. You could do whatever actions you normally have are available to you. You could do.
Yeah, he'd like to disengage from the swarm and Silvo.
Okay.
And then, I mean, he doesn't know that there's a boat coming, so he's just going to go over to the shiny, clean box and just lay a hand on it.
It's so clean.
It's so clean. No, as he reaches the... Well, he can't take an action anyway, because disengage is an action.
No,
so he's
move
just
action.
going to go as...
Move action. If you go, unless you double move, if you disengage 5 feet, like say here or something, or somewhere else, then you could still take an action after that.
Okay. I think I've always played it that disengages your entire action other than move.
No, entire move action, but
Okay,
not your
nice.
entire action. Yeah.
All right. Yep. He'd like to disengage 5 feet, please.
Okay.
And we didn't do did he fail a constitution save?
He did, but that was to get him just the poison damage, but he's not actually poisoned.
Okay, I'm just wondering, so his Shield of Faith is a concentration spell, so that would have faded.
Oh, true. So actually, you will get a chance to... So you can make a Constitution saving throw again, thank you for the reminder, to see if he holds that concentration despite the damage. It's possible. This is green we're talking about.
Wow. It's the same number.
Let me see. What was the number? Oh, a 9. Yeah, not so much. The Shield of Faith goes down. Although, actually, the Shield of Faith was counting the 19, right? Like that, like the Shield of Faith included... The 19 was counting the Shield of Faith, yes?
Yeah, because he doesn't have his physical shield on.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, sadly, then, unfortunately, it does fade.
Well, good. In that case, though, that leads him... If that was just my move action, and I have an action to take, I would like to cast Cure Wounds on myself, please.
Seems logical.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You can do that.
I will use a first level spell slot, so just 1d8.
Okay.
1d8 plus 6. My rolls are amazing.
Okay. 8. Okay. So you're back up to 21. All right. Get nice and into the green. Green. That's right. Okay. Good stuff. Right. In the next round, this stuff that I've been showing you over here. Let me see. Actually, do I have... can I pull this up? Do I have this here? Do I have this in my library? Maybe. Nope. That's that.
Are we gonna get to know a new kind of spider?
No, it's no more spiders, at least for the moment.
Water spider.
So, no.
We're all just standing to one side now, just like, yeah, okay. Off you go.
Exits that way, lads.
Okay.
You don't have to go
make
home, but you can't stay here.
That spot
I
that
would
is...
like to make a list of the kind of spiders we have encountered in our journey so far.
Experts in this, by the
A
end of
lot
this
of
episode.
spiders.
On the ship. Never mind.
I think
Exactly.
by now we should get like a bonus on identifying spiders.
You are
There's got
really
to be
the
some
spider
sort
crew.
of, like, yeah, there's got to be some sort of like
Oh
insect
no, we don't want them to
museum.
know that. Then we're the spider experts, and they hire us to go after all the spiders. No.
I heard you know about spiders. So that whole area that I just highlighted in blue is now covered in a couple of feet of water because waves are continuing to wash over the top of it. Also, you hear this terrible cracking sound as the ship is clearly beginning to start to sink. The rowboat is making its bold way towards you. Don't give up hope! We're coming! You're guessing it's as current pace, few rounds away. 3, maybe 4, could be 5. Unlikely to be 2. So that's currently the situation as we see it. Okay, Waves, you're up. Silvo's on deck.
Okay, Waves is getting increasingly frustrated. You can see her you can see them looking like left, right, and all there, and then just out of pure frustrating, shouting,
"Are we there yet? Are we there yet?"
and just keeping hold of the lockbox and hoping that the damn robot comes.
Okay, and I should mention that these creatures swarm off the side.
The other 3 haven't. Oh no.
Okay. This one is now here. This bad boy is here. No, they are. That was a "you're here, we're going to bite you," not a "we're going to hang out with you." They clearly want off this ship. Okay. All right.
Maybe they bite the tentacles.
And maybe there's so many of them biting the tentacles.
Yeah.
That it feels like it's being tickled.
We do not need the Kraken getting spider powers. Thank you.
Spider Kraken.
Kraken man.
Spider Kraken.
Does whatever a Kraken does. Okay. So, Waves is frustrated.
Kraken,
Okay.
even worse.
That's true. Silvo, you're up, and Morthwill is on deck.
Silvo is just gonna stand there. Basically, there's a lot happening. He's probably gonna stand here and brace himself against the railing just in case the ship like properly goes.
Okay. All right, Morthwill.
Okay, I'm gonna move up to here just so I can get a shield towed off on the whole group.
Okay.
I only took the entire session to get the whole group in one.
Yeah,
we did it.
Everyone smile for the picture.
Everyone say shield towed. No, don't say shield towed.
5 temp. Well, listen.
5 is still 5.
Green has 5 now and didn't have before.
Yes. Green now in range. Excellent.
Okay. And I think that was your bonus, right? That's all you got? Okay.
Unless I want to pull out the binding explosives, which I've been considering for a few rounds.
I think we're a bit past that point.
No, I'm good.
Green. Sorry, Brian, and then Green. Brian, you're up.
Green's before me in the turn order.
Yeah, but you were waiting. You had held, I think. Do you want to hold back? Because I think you had shifted order with Green, I believe. There's a reason you wanted to go before. Yeah, at the beginning.
What I'd like to do then is turn to the others. So we've got to get off this boat, and then I am going to check that there's no immediate tentacles underneath where the starboard side of the ship is, underneath me. And then I'm going to jump in the water and find the largest piece of wood that I can. Again, Titanic door isn't going to be like everyone needs to fit on this piece of wood.
Yes.
And then I want to hold it in place so that people can start like decamping onto this piece of wood.
Let me have you can do that. Let me have you make a perception check. Anybody else would be doing this at disadvantage, but not Brian, because Brian is used to this. This is sort of Brian's thing. Well, I mean, I don't know about pulling together a piece of wood to bring a magical lockbox, but but like the general idea.
Perception, yes?
Yes, please.
Water Genasi pirate crisis management.
Yeah, exactly. This is like manual number 1.
Yeah.
Kobayashi Maru this. All right, so
temporary motorboard.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, yes, you do find one that is, I have good news and bad news. You find one that is big enough. That's the good news. The bad news, it's awfully close to one of the tentacles.
I'm going to try and retrieve this piece of wood, but I'm going to go underneath the water so I can try and preempt dodging the tentacle if it comes near.
Yes, make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
20, not that.
Nice. Yeah, you were able to. It's an incredible sight. If the camera is underneath the water, the tentacles are like this. Brian is like, like darting, like matrixing. You are the one under the water against tentacles. And grab the wood from Mr. Anderson Kraken in this concept, and then pull the thing free. And you are able to put it underneath the boat. So you all see Brian come out with this massive, very sizable piece of wood, which Brian is holding in one place. Now it's still, the whole thing is bobbing up and down the water. So Brian's doing what you can, but yeah. Good work, Brian. I think that's pretty good for a turn. All right, the wood is there in the weight. Mr. Crackerson. Green, you were up next.
Yeah, Green, he's pretty good at holding his breath and swimming about and whatever, so he's gonna jump instead of onto the wood. First he's going to walk to the railing and so that he can actually see what's happening. And then he's gonna jump into the water and try to help stabilize the wood for people to be able to drop the box down onto it.
Okay, I think that is, if you were doing that, I think that is going to make it easier for them to get onto the wood, which we're going to talk about next round as they get into it. So I think that is going to help. We'll talk about that in a moment. Okay. As we go to the top of round 7, moving quickly, actually, chat, the 3 remaining creatures here leap off. The ship tilts further. Now, because you are all positioned where you are, you're okay right now. But if you were to, for some reason, lose your balance and go prone, with the water already basically halfway over the railing, you might go right off into the water. So very, job one, do not go prone at this moment. Don't slip. So with that said, waves, you can now see as you're looking down, a lot of tentacles flailing about, but you can also see the wood being stabilized by brine and green. Now the question is, do you want to, you have the lockbox with you, you have yourself, and these are all going to affect like the check that you make, the difficulty of it in terms of getting you plus this thing onto the wood. So first of all, do you want to get the lockbox on the wood? Do you want to get yourself on the wood, etc.?
How deep is it to the wood? Like the lockbox is 10 feet. Is it more than that?
Oh, you mean like from the deck of the ship to the wood?
Yeah, from where I am now to where they are.
Yes,
it's
it
more
definitely
than 10,
is.
Okay.
Because remember, the starboard side where you are is increasingly tilting, so it's going higher above the water level.
Oh, cool. Well, I like to be high above the water in certain situations. Okay, I've got Mothwell still here, so I'll take out my rope.
Okay.
And start like tying it over my side of the lockbox. I imagine lockbox like a large rectangle, right?
Yeah, that's basically right. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just like, and then like throwing the other end to Mothwell so that he can tie it up there.
Okay.
And then maybe we can find a way to let it down.
Okay, that seems reasonable. You can certainly do that. I'll come to whether Mothwell does that on his turn, but it sounds promising. Silvo, what about you?
How far away is this jump?
Probably now a good 15 feet, you would guess.
Is there anything Silver can do on the boat to help out?
You could tie the rope. I'm shorter. I need the distance to be smaller.
Tie a rope?
The rope on the lockbox. The thing is, I need to jump this round, I'm pretty much thinking. If this side gets any higher, Morthal's going to have problems. He's only 4.5 feet.
Can I go to this side and assist Waves? Oh no, Brian's not there, are they?
Brian is off the side of the ship. In fact, I'll.
Yeah, it's only you, me, Mothwell, and the lockbox, and I'm trying to like. My imagination is like tie a rope about one end of the lockbox, the other, and then you have like a loop, and you can like hand back it down.
Like there.
Yes. Yeah.
Or so I guess here is what makes sense.
I'll come over and assist with tying that and sort of hoisting it over and lowering it.
Okay, that will definitely speed things up. Morthwell, so that means that you're not. So on your turn, what do you want to do on your turn then?
One last shield toe because it's a bonus action, so why not?
Okay.
I say one last. 6 HPs for it's just going to be me, Silvo, and Waves if they want them. Although I imagine they've still got better right now. What is it, about 10 feet down, you said, at the moment?
About 15.
15. Okay, 15 and increasing, I'm going.
Yeah. Okay, when you're going to land here, I'm going to need you to make a dexterity check. Now, the good news is you would be doing this at a disadvantage were it not for the fact that Brian and Green are stabilizing the wood. So that means that you're going to land on there. What happens when you land on it is going to be another issue, but we'll worry about one miracle at a time. So I need you to make a dexterity check, please.
All right. 14.
Okay. So Morthwell comes down, Captain America style, shield head down. When it does, though, it hits and the board goes wildly, reacting to it. So, Brian and Green, I need both of you, please, to make strength checks for me to see if you can keep this thing stable.
Straight strength check.
Straight strength check. I'll take athletics if you have that, actually, Ananda.
I would have preferred athletics, but I just rolled strength.
No, it's all right. Go ahead and do athletics. If it's much worse, I'll let you take the strength.
19.
19, okay. and Green with the 5. That's a good thing that Brian rolled the 19. So you do barely, between the two of you, manage to keep the thing from literally flying out of your hands. Silvo.
Green, as he was trying to hold it steady, saw like a piece of seaweed hanging off it, and so his grip was a bit like, ugh.
Mm-hmm. Actually, Green, I would like you to make a perception check for me. It's funny you mentioned that, Green.
He's good at looking at things,
Yeah.
especially dirt.
When you are thrown, so when you were almost
sea
thrown off the
germs.
wood, yeah, exactly. So much dirt in the sea. But when you are thrown off slightly from the board, you manage to hold on. Your vision goes like basically whipping out towards the boat, towards the rowboat, which is making its way towards you. And you notice two things. Number one, the rowboat is now moving at a pretty good clip. You think it might get here maybe even in the next maybe 3 rounds, 2 to 3 rounds. But you also see something else. Something is hanging on to the underside of the boat, and it's not a tentacle. It seems to be a humanoid figure of some kind. Like it's just gotten to the underside of the boat.
You've got a friend underneath.
What? Okay, they are aware of this now. We'll talk about the impact of that in a minute. So, okay, that was Morthwill's turn. So, Brian, that leads us to you. What do you want to do? Currently, you're stabilizing the wood.
Are you talking to me? Sorry.
Yeah. You, Brian.
Oh, sorry.
That's
I thought you said waves. I would like to just duck my head under the water to see if I can see the figure that Green is referring to.
You can. You can also, because you have you can see a little bit better underneath the water even than Green could. It is the angry half-orc that is holding on to
I'm
the
just
boat.
going to bring my head back up into the water saying, we need to hurry this along. Angry orc, under the boat.
Servant of Lolth.
Yep. Thrash, tentacles, thrash. Okay.
Yeah, basically, I mean, I just want to do everything I possibly can to get everyone onto this temporary raft as quickly as possible. So
okay.
I'm going to use my action and movement just to make sure that everything is steady. Sorry if you can hear my puppy barking in her sleep.
Oh, no. I remember the dream barks. Okay. Green, you are up next. Currently you're also attempting to stabilize this thing still. Are you staying with that, Green? Did we miss something? Green? Is
Bruce.
Bruce?
Yep. Is it my turn again?
Yeah, it is. We're going quick. Zipping around.
Right, yeah. I mean, he's just holding on to
the same thing. I figured as much.
Hold on to it.
I don't want to just be like, well, I know what they're going to do, so that's why I jump back. Okay. Right. Top of the next round, you see that the people on the rowboat sort of stops moving towards you because they seem, the people in the rowboat seem to be like swinging and like dealing with something on the other side of the boat. Not a tentacle. So that's going to lead us to Waves with Silvo on deck. Waves, by this point, I'd say because of the help with Silvo, you probably have the rope tied around the box by now.
Okay, then now that there's like rope on both sides, and there's, I'll try to like hoist it down. Do you have this? I wonder if you have the same image in my head, in your head than I have, but I'm like trying to like let it down carefully towards the wooden piece.
Question: if you do 2 rounds, you can do it safely without having to make a check. If you do it in 1, you can get it down in 1 round, but you'll have to make a check.
The question is, what kind of check?
It is a strength check. That one's easy. Strength check.
Come on.
Strength check.
No, then.
Can I assist?
I'm gonna do.
Silvo, Silvo can assist for sure.
He's not just going to be like, okay, the rope's tied by.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you are lowering it down.
I'm also then after them, so I'm at the bottom waiting for it coming towards me.
That's true. Well, that depends on whether they do 1 or 2 checks, 1 or 2 rounds per check.
We did all this. We did all this stuff to just get this one thing. I am gonna do it slow and safe.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the 2 turns.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you are gradually, so then that's basically your action waves for you and Silva both.
Yep.
Just kind of lowering the thing down, which means Morthwill. So it's still a round away from you, Morthwill. Yeah, exactly. But you also...
But they can prepare. They know it's coming. It's all good.
Yes.
And I'm 100% sure that the robot is going to be attacked by water spiders now or something like that, you know.
Sea spiders.
Okay.
Yeah, Stalio, whoever did something safely. All right, what do you think, Morthwill? If you have anything, because you were hanging on
I'm
to
not
the
shooting firebolts at our rescue boat. That is just. I've done some stupid things in my time, but shooting a firebolt at the rescue ship is
just
not going to
rock left.
I'm just gonna cast guidance on myself for now, since I'm anticipating I might need to make a roll soon.
Sounds like a plan. Brian and Green, are you two both remaining still stabilizing the boat?
I am, but I'm every so often I'm going to duck my head under the water to make sure the orc is not moved from its current position.
Okay. Yeah, right now the orc is locked in a real battle with the people on the rowboat, and is sort of like grabbing at the shirt of one of them and like the guy's trying to pull himself back up. Has not pulled anyone off the boat yet, but definitely they are preoccupied trying to deal with this guy, for what that's worth. You can contemplate that as we move to the top of the round, assuming that Green is also continuing to help to stabilize, he said, questioningly.
Green is, and he would also like to cast guidance on himself.
Okay, I think you can do that.
That exists.
Yes, I think you can do that. Okay, that's going to bring us up to Waves. Waves, this turn you finish lowering the thing onto the boat. So you and Silvo both finish lowering it. That was your action, so you could try to take a move action to jump onto the wood. Now, the wood is large enough, barely, but, it is... You're going to have to make a little bit of a check to land safely on the wood, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do like a head motion towards Silver to go first, because he's gonna need more space to land than I do.
Okay, that's fine. You can reverse. So
yeah, so I'm
all right. See you on the other side then, and Silvo throws himself over.
Okay, a dexterity check, please, Silvo.
It's
wow.
a crit.
Nice.
Yeah, you just like Nightcrawler, kapow, let's go.
Superhero landing.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, not superhero landing.
You destroy the wood.
Coming through.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, exactly. I live for these tentacles. All right, that's Silvo. All right, go ahead, Waves. You could do the same thing. Dexterity check for you, please.
Yeah, just roll a 20. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, exactly.
So
well,
close.
That was a save.
So
now, if I was a mean DM, I'd make you re-roll it because it was a save that you just rolled. But
I did. Okay, it's the same.
Right?
I don't have. I don't have.
That's okay. I'm not a mean DM. That's fine. So you land on the other side. So you are now on the wood. So all of you now are on the wood of this thing, which brings us to Morthwill. Morthwill, everybody is on the wood now. Now what?
To the rescue ship? I need to get out of here.
We're no longer on that boat.
We're no longer on that. We replaced one problem boat with another problem boat.
A smaller problem boat. Yeah.
But this one is ours.
The boat, the 2x4 is ours. No, it's more than a 2x4.
In free, this pirate ship can eat a bag of dicks.
Oh man!
There's nothing I can do unless I want to start taking pot shots at the wooden boat coming to pick us up with my firebolt. So
okay,
I'll pull out my club. I'll be like, "Roll me closer so I can hit them with my mallet."
All right, you are prepared, Brian. Now that they are on the wood, what do you want to do?
I am gonna go full dash from The Incredibles, and I am going to basically paddle and steer this raft whilst keeping my face in the water so that I can try and avoid any tentacles that are coming too close. I know it's not going to be easy to steer, but that's essentially what I'm trying to do.
Green, you doing the same thing?
Yeah, Green is assisting with this.
Okay. You are 2 aquatic creatures, and that is definitely going to help. I would like you both to make strength checks for me, though, but not at a disadvantage or anything. In fact, you know what? Because you're swimming, I'm going to actually give you +2, each of you on that. So +2 as you're moving the wood forward. Genasi / turtle powered.
Okay, 14.
Okay. And 22. All right. Wait. Oh, because of guidance. Yes. All right. Yeah. Green, your side of the wood probably goes a little further. Like Green is like,
We go around in circles.
Oh no, this is like,
I'm joking, I'm
Scrum,
joking.
where one of the prop forwards is significantly bigger than the other.
No. Because you're able to sort of focus. So you both pull it, which is definitely speeding things up. As we move to round 10, and you hear a terrible cracking sound as the ship now lists over. So now you actually start to see the hull, like the bottom of the boat, coming up into view because the port side of the ship is like leaning over so far now. As you are heading over, you see one of the people of the rowboat goes flying off. So there are 2 people left that are battling with this half-orc. And the fact that these are all experienced sailors that are on that boat, that brought you in the first place, sturdy dwarves too, right, Morthwill? And yet these ones, some kind of fierce desperation must be in the hands of this half-orc. You are probably, you would guess, since you're heading towards them, maybe about a round and a half, maybe a round away. So for whatever that's worth, because of the speed with which Brian and Green are bringing you towards it. So with that said, Waves, anything that you want to do as you're on this piece of wood?
Considering the speed that the 2 aquatic creatures are pushing us, would it make it anything easier if I also get into the water and start moving my bird legs?
I don't know that you can swim, so
yes,
you could be in the middle of the boat, I guess, and have 3 of you. Sure, you could do that if you want.
You should tell us a rudder.
Go ahead and make a strength check for me. This one I have to give to you at -2, though. You are not exactly a water genasi or a turtle.
I'm not a turtle. That's very true.
Yeah.
I'm also not a water genasi. Okay, strength check. So it's d20 -1. Okay.
2 -2.
No, because I've got +1.
Oh, well then.
So it's minus. Then that's because it's
fair enough.
-1.
Yep.
Okay. Roll. 11.
11. I think that's all right. You're able to sort of move this thing a little bit further. You think you'll get to them now by next round if you keep this up. Silvo, what do you want to do? You can see the 2 that are still battling on the boat, on the rowboat.
Can I see the half-orc?
Yes, the half-orc is now sort of halfway over the side and is grappling, and you can see maybe a dagger in the half-orc's other hand stabbing at the other one.
So just for context, the half-orc is in the water but trying to get into the boat.
Correct, and is now half out of the water on the other side, basically tried to ambush them. If Green had not warned them, probably would have taken 2 of these guys out before they even knew what was going on. They're a little preoccupied.
I'm going to try and shoot the orc.
Okay.
Draw my crossbow
all
as
right.
level as I can.
Rest it on my head.
Shot. Oh, what do I give this? All right, chat. Does anyone have an inspiration sitting in chat for this? I'm just saying.
Is this going to be a disadvantage?
No, but it's going to be at a -3.
Okay.
Just hang on a second. See if we have anyone. Anyone? Okay. All right. So -3 it is. Oh,
okay.
Wait. Echo's checking. I don't know. You may still have 1 echo. I don't know if you do or not. Hang on a moment. In case anyone's curious who hasn't watched this before, this is inspirations that come from my channel. You do. All right. Echo, do you wish to inspire Silvo in his called shot? No, that's fine. All right, so Echo is inspiring Silvo. Thank you, Echo. Inspiring Echo. Echo is inspiring.
So that's still at a minus, but that's now at advantage.
At advantage.
The minus.
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah, they both suck.
Pew pew.
Sorry,
Both
Echo.
splash into the water. That was 10. Yeah. Both
But
splash
if it
into the
had
water.
worked, it'd have been epic.
It would have been amazing. It was still worth it. It's still worth the attempt. Obviously, you can't move anywhere unless you jump in the water, so I assume you're not going to want to do that. So, Morthwill, you're up, and then Brian and Green. So, I'm not surprised.
He's kind of brimming over with impatience at this point. He's just going to let off a fireball. He's got a pretty good eye line on the orc at this point from one combat round away, I'd say. So
That's
he's going to
fair.
take the shot.
Sun was in my eye.
Yeah. The
I like
storm-tossed sea was in my eye.
Why doesn't that go?
That we're kind of moving this little weapon platform towards
Yeah.
like pew pew.
Yeah, exactly.
14 to hit.
14 will hit. Yes.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
One. I have a little bit of. I do have some good news though about that, because the issue is not the damage; it's the surprise. When the guy who's paying no attention to anything else gets hit with a firebolt, the orc goes "Hur!" and lets go, and the guy gives this tremendous hit. Those of you who have seen the Phantom Menace, which has major problems but does have one of the great lightsaber battles of all time. You may remember there's a section where Qui-Gon Jinn, played by the great Liam Neeson, basically backhands Darth Maul off a platform. So I want you to think a little bit about that, because that's more or less what one of the rowboat guys does to the orc. Just like wails on him, and he goes flying back into the water. And Morthwill, you after doing that sort of have this, all right, and then you see a tentacle right in front of your face slap down, and you hear this, something is being squeezed to death underneath you, painfully. What did the 5 fingers say to the face? Exactly, slap. Okay, so Morthwill can't move anywhere either. That leads us to Brian and Green. Brian and Green, assuming you're continuing to move, I'm guessing, like towards the boat?
I'm taking a peek under the water just to check that noise was the fate of the orc.
You definitely do not see an orc anymore.
Okay,
You see some tentacles,
in which
though.
Case,
You
like paddle harder.
Okay, Green,
Yeah.
same for you.
Yeah, Green just wants to take a moment to note, the violent end comes to those who choose to follow a violent path.
I give Green a hard stare.
He is sad that, this creature that was been, taken off the good path of pacifism into, Lol's cult has, didn't have a chance for redemption and to come back to, a better way of life, but he did ultimately choose that path. And then he's going to paddle harder.
I had a moment of sadness, then paddle. Okay. At the beginning of round 11, you reach the boat and the two guys, and you actually can see the third dwarf, looking rather waterlogged, is pulling himself back onto the boat. And they sort of, as you reach the boat, are kind of hurriedly trying to grab. Dwarves are quite strong, those dwarves, and they're pulling the box off and then pulling each of you basically onto this boat. And as they turn to head back to the Soul of Winter, which I think was the name of the ship that you came on, and you begin to row away, you hear this terrible, horrible creaking, horrific creaking sound. And as you look back, there's a moment's pause, a sort of silence in the air, and the sea almost seems to still. And then, as if looking at a child's toy, you watch as these two enormous tentacles crush the enormous boat that you were on, as if it were a piece, like a child's toy, crushing it until it is broken in half, and the devastated, ruined ship begins to sink below. As it does so, I would like all of you to make a perception check. Silvo, I'm going to give you advantage on this for a reason that I'll talk about in a second.
Green says, I hope the cultists are all right.
I just say to Silvo, that's the thing you said was going to happen, wasn't it?
Silver's just looking out in horror, is like,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think
That was
all of you except Morthwheel, although yes, all of you except Morthwheel and Ananda. Sorry, by which I mean Brian. Morthwheel and Brian. Brian's a little busy trying to get everyone on the ship. But everyone but Morthwheel and Brian sees, as the last vestiges of this ship go below the waves, some large thing, and I mean something attached to the tentacles, looming above the sinking ship. And probably, if you were to look closely, Waves, I would say you were able to note this. You can see that it is possibly this enormous eye that is looking, an eye that's probably the size of your boat, looking at you balefully. This black, fathomless eye stares at you. And as it sinks below the waves and the rowboat makes its way towards the soul of winter, Silvo, in your head, you hear, "You will be next." And that's where we're going to bring our session to a close.
I mean, we do get that a lot at the moment.
But
cliffhanger.
yes, but you made it off the ship. This is what matters. And you have the lockbox. You have the lockbox somehow.
I could have gone
we'd
so
been
many
so
different
screwed
ways.
without Green.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was.
Oh, absolutely.
The thing that I really was like, I was when Silva was like, and it was a good call, but when Silva was like, "I'm going to go through the spiders to get Green," I was like, "Okay, we're gonna see how this goes." And then you somehow, and then Green was like, "Don't take me." You connect forward your way out of the spiders, who again were more worried about getting the hell off the ship with this tentacle thing. But wow, good work, everybody. That was quite something. And also, by the way, brings an end, in case you're curious, to this part of the adventure, because you'll be happy to know. Guess who gets to level up to level 5? These guys. Level
Exciting.
5. You all get to level up to level 5, including Green. Sorry, Bruce, I'm going to make you go up a level after you just there, but yes, level 5.
I love leveling.
Yes, level 5. So good work, everybody. That was not easy, and you managed to get off with the lockbox. I thought you might actually leave it behind. I thought that was quite a possibility, but then
I thought we might lose it.
Yeah.
It's been in my mind for thinking about this session.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is that when Green, Bruce, when Green jumped off to help stabilize it, I was like, oh yeah, you have 2 sea creatures now. I was like, that's got to help, because it means that you have 2 people that can swim and, that are one with the water and all that kind of stuff. So that was actually really useful in multiple ways. So, all right, well, you've completed the tutorial. Very funny, Salio. Exactly.
What a tutorial.
So
this is how you do a demo.
This is how you do things. I'm going to start all the way to the right with not the newest member overall, because of course been playing Talisman Adventures, but newest member for Saltmarsh and by the dice roll. So well done, Bruce. How did you feel about your first Saltmarsh session? And how do you feel about Green the Turtle? And where will the fine folks see you next?
That was a lot of fun. I was a bit worried of how we were all gonna mesh because, Green, they're all dirty and Green doesn't really like dirty things, but I don't know, they came back for him. Everyone all his life has been sort of pushing him on to the next person, and been sort of a bit not glad to see the back of him, but glad. So yeah, no, it's good. And I particularly enjoyed the no, please don't take me. It's fine. I'll just stay here in the sinking ship. Like fine. So yeah.
I hope the cultists are okay.
Yeah. I look forward to, he doesn't know that they've killed the cultists that were holding him captive, and they don't even know that he was being held captive. So I look forward to them getting to know each other in the future. And it was lots of fun. And the fine folks will see me next at the next Saltmarsh. I think I wasn't going to be able to make it, but I now can. So all
Yay!
good.
Cool. Very awesome. That'll be good. Because part of next session is going to be the return to Saltmarsh and dealing with everything there and all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be good times. Thank you, Bruce. Good stuff tonight. Moving right over to Ananda. Some very big moments for Brian here. We obviously had the ice thing turned out to be a very good call on several levels, mostly because it just cleared the space more quickly. Like they wanted to get away from you anyway, but literally if the spider had been in front of the door, the Ettercap would have basically turned and hauled off on green because the Ettercap's just like, like it's just trying to get out of a trap. So the fact that you facilitated the exit of several of these people into the water made things a lot faster. So that was a good call. Obviously, the sort of pulling Silvo who pulled green was a big deal too. Also, the being able to find the piece of wood to stabilize the wood. So there was a lot of like brine stuff, including some very specific stuff to Water Genasi that was helpful. It was a good thing that they healed you at the beginning, that Green was able to heal you because you needed to be up for this. That was my worry. I was like, I don't know how you're going to do this if Brian's unconscious. Like, that's going to be hard. So it was a good call that was the case. How did you feel about today, Inanna, and where will the lovely folks see you next?
I don't think it could have turned out much better for Brian. I was thinking about what was possibly going to happen in this session. I could foresee them just going, it's fine, she can breathe underwater, and then just pushing me overboard and hoping for the best. But yeah, I think if Green hadn't healed Brian at the beginning, it would have been a bit of a different story, which is why Brian was also very, very keen to get Green out of there. But yeah, lots of fun. I'm really I don't think we could have got a better outcome considering how we started the session.
Yeah.
So yeah, really, really fun. Where can people find me? I will be back over on my own channel. I'm currently playing God of War for the first time, which I'm loving. I'll be back over here on GOG on Saturday. And yeah, and then I'll be back with some more D&D later on this month.
Good stuff. Thank you, Ananda. I should have mentioned, by the way, too quickly, Bruce, do you want to mention the class or do you want to reveal that? But I mean, I think people probably have a pretty good guess, but
he's a life domain cleric.
That's right. We were talking about that. I'm like, you're like, I think we're going to heal. I'm like, they desperately need someone to be able to heal. So that's a good call because poor Waves was like, I'm the off tank. I'm the off healer. I can heal everybody. So that was, Waves was, there's only so much healing Waves can do is my point. And so good call to actually have a cleric in there.
Like nearly none?
Yeah, well, more or less. Yes, I was trying to be polite about it, but yes.
Me and Waves have been two people stacked up in a healer's coat the whole time.
That's right. Yeah, and Morthwheel is an off healer, right? But yeah, it's basically like two off healers, joining the WoW raid, and everyone's like, "No, we need to. No, we could do it. We got it. Like we just put the two of us together." Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so good stuff, Nanda. Thank you. Good work today. Wonderful work as well, Mike, from Silvo on this one. The pulling green. I didn't know that was going to be the opposed check that Silvo would make, which is to actually beat Green's own strength. That would have changed things. And again, I love the fact that Silvo's just like, I'm going to crawl through these spiders. I'm like, all right, you're going to crawl through these spiders. And then of course the big dun dun dun. What does that mean at the end? Stuff, because this does obviously have some resonance, I guess, with Silvo, and frankly resonance with anyone who watched me play through Dredge on GOG. So there's that too. How'd you feel about today's session, Mike? Where will the fine folks find you next?
I absolutely adored it. I always love these sessions. I think it's great that Bruce has joined the party. I think Green is going to fit in well. I think the big thing that struck Silvo was that Green immediately went, is that person dead? Oh, I'll heal them. Like that immediately sort of like got them in Silvo's good graces. Yes. And then when we were leaving the ship, he's like, oh, well, I can't leave them. Like I'm not just going to abandon them. You know what I mean? They helped us out. We can sort things out when we're back on land, but they helped us out. We need to help them out, which is why it was in his mind, he was just crawling through piles of insects. Like, to be fair, he's lived on the streets of Saltmarsh for just over a year. He's crawled through worse. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if he was just going to crawl straight through, grab them, and then crawl straight out while everything was just sort of happening around them, he thought he might get away with that. But yeah, clearly not. But I adore this. But if you want to see more of myself, I can't wait for the next session, to be honest with you. If you want to see more of my stupid voice and face, you can catch me over on twitch.tv/wholesome horror gaming every Tuesday and Thursday, 5 to 9 BST, where I play many little indie horror games. We had a big old bunch of indie horror games tonight. We've got another big old bunch of them Thursday, not tomorrow. That's Wednesday. That's how time works. But yeah, that's everything from me.
Good stuff. Thank you, Mike. Good work today, as always. And yeah, I also forgot to mention when you first met Green, and you're just gonna, can we not have this discussion now? Like, like what kid? Okay, fine, I won't eat you. Can we? What are we doing? Like, crack, crack, crack is the ship. Anyway, it was great. So good stuff today. Saber, great stuff as well from Morthwheel. Obviously, the Shield Toad continued to come in clutch. I did love the moment where you and Silvo are both holding the door with, like, against this like flood of creatures that you're trying to deal with here. I also appreciated the fact that you were not going to firebolt the thing until the end, when you really, that was a clutch firebolt, because there was the risk that it could have just slowed down the rowboat further. I mean, when you get there, can the group of you defeat the one ore? Yeah, probably. But, you're also wasting time. As you saw, you didn't have a lot of rounds left before that ship was going to crack. So you were kind of like up against it. And so using that firebolt when you finally did was really useful. Also, I love the Captain America, well, actually, no, it was Silvo who did the Captain America drop, right? Morthwheel did the I made it and didn't fall off drop. So there was that. But in any case,
definitely landing like stomach landing rather than Captain America landing.
Yeah. Exactly. It's the sort of smack.
I'm okay.
I'm fine. How'd you feel about today's session? Where will the fine folks find you next?
Oh boy, yeah. I mean, that dealing with the box, there's so many things that I was like, we've got to deal with this. I don't know how we're going to deal with this. At one point, I was like, maybe I can put Brian in the bag of holding so that we can get her up the ladders and take her out when we're back up the top of the ladder. That might work, or it might kill her. I don't know. I've got no idea how we're going to deal with this. At one point, I was like, well, I've got mining explosives in my backpack.
So you're just going to blow up the ship.
I might have jawsed it,
That's fair.
Smile, you son
We're
of
going to need some more dynamite. You're going to crush the ship. I'm going to explode the ship first. Yeah.
I'm very glad I made a note of the signal flare, because apparently nobody else did.
Yeah.
We may still be waiting for the boat otherwise. So yeah, there's lots of little things of either like that we prepared for, like in the last session, or just noted, sort of came back to help us in this one. And then we had a very clutch encounter with an awesome turtle.
Yes.
I don't really know what's going on with the turtle yet, but there's this turtle that's afraid we're going to eat them and doesn't want to be rescued, apparently. But now they're with us. So I hope Silvo takes him for walks. That's all I'm hoping. Takes him for walks, cleans up after him,
This 6 foot tall turtle, like,
Yep.
You have to look after your pet.
Yep. But as for me, I'll be back here tomorrow. I think after all this excitement with the Cyberpunk and the Dungeons and Dragons, I'm going to have a very nice chill stream of Transport Fever 2, because I'm just going to kick back and build some train sets, I think.
There you go. Good stuff. Thank you, Saber. Good work today. Again, thanks on the Move and dashboard as always. And I'm glad that you managed to hold out with, was it caffeine, painkillers, and excitement? Thank you for holding out for us. Last, certainly not least, Pyre and Jade, great stuff as well from Waves. Obviously, I love the image of Waves at the railing, constantly looking back at every 3 seconds. There's just more animals like emerging. It's spiders, it's wolf spiders, it's phase spiders, it's an orc, and you're just like, and you keep turning back to the boat, like, what the frick, that was very funny. And obviously, there was something to be said for your jumping in the water, which at first I was like, I don't know if that makes sense, but it did actually speed up the process of getting you to the boat, which was going to be kind of necessary because, that was the only way that you were going to deal with this, get on the rowboat and get the hell out of Dodge, which is what you were able to do eventually. And I'm also very curious to see what Waves makes of Green, other than just when Green was making that monologue about like, well, they died violently, and you did the thing about I give Green a hard stare, like what, they're evil, they died. What's your problem? So I thought that was funny. How did you feel about today's session, and where will the fine folks find you next?
Well, it was more that Waves is very aware that they are doing violent thing most of the time, except for when they do use diplomacy, which we have done,
On occasion.
and it worked.
Yes.
So that it was more or less that Green just said, "We're gonna die." It was not what I wanted to hear with my one hit point in that moment. And in the water with the tentacles. And yeah, not the situation. I don't know when the people will see me next on stream, but they can see me in real life just this August, August 17th in London. So that's a thing. Yeah, so, and I love this session today. And I kept the thing saved. I kept the box safe at the railing. So that was a good thing.
Yes, you
because
did.
I was so sure we're going to lose that. It's just going to slide off the ship, and then it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all for nothing. And we just saw a lot of new spiders, and that's it. So
that's true.
Yes,
Well,
I'm happy that worked out.
What was your ship like? Spiders. A lot of spiders.
Yeah.
A lot of spiders.
What is it today? We had burning spiders. We had teleporting spiders. We had venomous spiders. We had
Ettercaps? Related
Ettercaps,
spiders.
Yeah, spider-related problems. We had piano-playing spiders. So we are totally, so.
Good stuff. And also, yes, Saber is 100% right. You sure did miss a lot of crap, like the entire middle deck of the ship where a bunch of cultists were still hanging out. And then you were just like, nope, I'm going to go all the way to the hold. I'm like, all right, you went to the hold. And then you go there and then the creature starts attacking. And I'm like, all right, that actually may have worked out better for you than challenging the cultists. Also,
we only had one cultist get past us out of the ship.
No, it's true. It's very true. So quick question. Are the four of you happy with your new turtle that you have?
Yes,
definitely.
I didn't know
I like my new
turtles were a
turtle.
thing in D&D, and I'm very happy to find out they are.
Yes.
I'm also very happy that we're still a group without a complete human. We've done this for nearly 10 years. We've avoided to have a group with a human.
Still no human.
That is very nice. Still no human. You cannot trust them.
That's true. It's a good point.
That's very true. You can only trust half of Silver.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Actually, that Silva's as close as you've had, right?
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
That sounds high for Silver.
No.
We'll get him house trained one day.
It's $1.25 per human.
Fleo's original character was also half elf.
True. So we've never, because I think even 8-Bit didn't play. Didn't 8-Bit play an elf also? I think 8-Bit played an elf.
Yes.
I think Chrono Wolf played not a human.
I played a half orc as well.
Yeah, and a half. Yeah, so it's true. Never had a full straight up 100% human.
Yeah, we had a dragonborn.
Yep.
We get to play humans every day. We play this to play something else.
That's it. And it's in that spirit that I'm so happy that I played with this wonderful group. Looking forward to playing in a few weeks, whatever that is, for our next session of Saltmarsh. Everyone, don't forget to get tickets for this group as well, as you will see them in action in August, live and in person. Thank you so much, crew. Check, we get some love for the amazing members of By the Dice Roll. Thank you to Pyron Jade, Darksaber2K, Wholesome Horror Gaming, Inanda, and of course, Undeveloped Bruce. We will see you folks soon. Bye for now.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. That is going to do it for us for today. And I really, really enjoyed that a lot. And yeah, I can't wait. I am super pumped up for the coming of the August 17th. But we've got other things before that, of course. We will have 3 more sessions at least is the plan, because we're going to have 1 left in June. We're going to have 2 in July. And then August, best guess is we're just going to have the 1 session in August, because I'm going to be traveling a lot. And so I am not going to, I don't want to overdo the number of things I can commit to in terms of game sessions and stuff like that. So in all likelihood, it's just going to be the 1 session, but what a session it's going to be. Hi, Geister. That's going to be the in-person stuff that we do on August 17th. So it's great. And chat, I will tell you that as they have moved through, they are, let me just confirm here. Let me just confirm how far into the adventure we are. Wait a second. Hold, please. Yeah, that is about halfway. We're about halfway through the Saltmarsh campaign, maybe a little bit past it. We're a little bit past halfway in the Saltmarsh campaign, so it's going to be pretty cool. Yeah, no, I'm very excited about it. So, well, thank you, Stalio. Yes, we are still, of course, being hosted by GOG, but I'm very excited that we have this actual play group here. And the reason is not anything against GOG. We love GOG, but it's just that we are also our own thing, and we want to make sure that we reflect that the way we go through. Yeah, we're halfway through the prologue. Yeah, very funny. No, they've gone further than that. Level 5. They're level 5. They have leveled to level 5. In fact, I'm going to make sure that I note that. They are level 5. Okay, so I've now noted that they are level 5. And yeah, we're going to get a chance to actually see what happens for their level 5 characters. That's going to be very exciting indeed. But that is going to do. No, it's not a new channel. No, this is no. We're not doing a new channel thing as of yet. This is just the new name of our group, which is hosted currently at GOG.com's Twitch channel, just for the moment. But down the line, you know, we will see whatever the future brings. But for right now, we are feeling good about where we are. So with all that said, I want to thank all of you lovely folks for being here. And I want to remind everybody that Kilgore Trout is going to be joining you in 2.5 hours roughly with Witch Haven. Very cool game. And I am going to be on my own channel in about an hour and a half from now, playing more of the GOG available game, the Banner Saga 3, with my amazing voice team, the Our Vocalists. So if you want to close out a big Tuesday, you can head over to hang out with us Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern on my channel as we do some more of the awesomeness known as the Banner Saga 3. So that's going to be a good time. Exactly, Mope Haven. And then you can join Kilgore back here at 10 and move on to that. So it's going to be a good time. If you need a new vocalist, well, I do have professional voice actors right at the moment, Echo. So I kind of, it's nothing against you. I do need to kind of privilege the pros, you know, at the moment. Prorate the pros, as they were, say again, you know. But when I need an expert in all things related to film expertise and or Norwegian-based knowledge or Scandinavian-based knowledge, I will 100% be thinking about you. You'll jump to the top of the list. If you like what you saw and heard today, please follow us on the channel. Please check us out as well by subscribing to us on this channel. That is always appreciated. I know several of you were able to do that today. And if you haven't done so already, please click through to our individual channels. Equality demands satisfaction. Please make sure to join us as well. And make sure to click through to our own individual channels because we have our own subsystems and Patreons and stuff like that as well. I'll be back to you folks next week on this channel, Pen and Pixels 429. Episode 429 will feature more Black Geyser, Couriers of Darkness. Been having a lot of fun with that as well. And then the week after that, I believe, is when we are going to be doing our the next Ghosts of Saltmarsh session. Also, next Tuesday on my channel, I do want to note that I'm going to have a cover reveal for my third in the Grey Assassin trilogy novel known as Heretic. That will be happening, as I say, next week at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, so on my channel. So if you want to get a sneak peek on the cover of my third novel in the Grey Assassin trilogy called Heretic, you can be there for that. We're also revealing some other book covers there as well. So just a quick note for those who have followed me for a while. Otherwise, stick around for Kilgore Trout, who is going to be here in about 2.5 hours, and stop by my channel at 9 p.m. Eastern for the Banner Saga 3 with the Our Vocalists. Otherwise, thank you so much, everybody. Much love to my amazing players. They are great. And I will see you soon, hopefully on my channel, but if not, right back here for more Pen and Pixels coming up next week. Until then, everyone, please be good to each other and have a good night.